from Government of Karnataka for his as Sarvottama Seva Award, Science Communicator Award, and Independence Day honor from Ministry of Rural Development, Government of Andhra Pradesh. So I welcome you, sir. So I request Dr. Alu, sir, to present his topic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chair, co-chair, and all delegates on the dais, and most beloved students and faculty members of this great institution, a very good morning to all of you. It's indeed a great pleasure because coming to Bagalkot is coming home. So I have been asked to deliver a keynote on the smart soil and plant health management. I'll try to keep it as simple as possible, looking at the time constraint. And in case you have any questions to ask, you can do it with me in the later stage. Friends, we are aware agriculture continues to be one of the most important resource for livelihood. It's a source for employment, and it is one of the important aspects that ensures food and nutrition security for the people. So keeping these things in mind, we have been. You were not able to move the slides? Yeah, it's not good. So we have seen traditional practices which were not enough to address the challenges of food security, and then we have slowly resorted to advanced forms of agriculture. And basically, we are now talking about smart soil health and plant health, soil health and plant health management system. Basically, it talks about amalgamation and adoption of different advanced technologies and practices in assessing and managing the soil health system. And we have seen the impacts of over usage of chemicals. And also, we are now talking about precision agriculture, use of advanced tools like artificial intelligence and many other aspects. And if you look at the smart soil and plant health management system, basically it refers to the integration of different advanced technologies, and different practices, whether it is implementation, monitoring, and anything that is related to soil and plant health. So we can definitely look at the benefits that it brings to us. One is risk mitigation, resource efficiency, increased farm productivity, and then environmental sustainability. If you look at the importance of soil and plant health, I need not have to emphasize much on this. Basically, there is a strong connection between the soils as well as the plant health. And if you look at that, it is in terms of nutrient cycling, in terms of disease suppression, and also the dynamics that happens in the water level. And healthy plants are basically required for us to have food security, economic stability, and also to avail different ecosystem services. If you look at different factors that affect the soil and plant health, basically, if you look at the soil health, it is organic matter content, the basic structure that prevails in the soil, the soil reaction, and then the microbial diversity that is present. And these factors also influence directly or indirectly the plant health. And one of the important aspects is the nutrient and water availability, then followed by the pest and disease, pressure on the crops. So we have seen several technological advancements in soil and plant health management. Basically, we are now talking about bringing different aspects of technology into entire production system, so that technology should revolutionize, should provide solutions to these problems. We are talking about different smart systems. Basically, precision agriculture is one of them, basically, which involves the use of different technologies in managing the crops and fields. Basically, we look at different components. One is we are making use of the global positioning system. In precision agriculture, we're talking about geographic information system and also variable rate technology. This is very important because many times we make use of different mechanisms available in precision agriculture. This enables the applying equipment to provide inputs at varying rates within the soil system, based on the the deficiencies that are prevailing in the soil. And remote sensing is another technology that is being used in smart, health management. We talk about, multispectral and, hyperspectral imaging techniques that are available, thermal imaging, and, light detection and ranging technology. These are three important aspects that now we are talking about remote sensing in the current soil and plant health management. And we're also using different types of soil sensors in soil health management, basically to understand the moisture, nutrient, and even the soil acidity that is prevailing in the soil. And if you look at the data analytics and decision support system, we have a very interesting project going on in UHS Pagalkot, that is the World Bank supported Sujala project, now the Reward project, which is completely involved in developing decision making or decision support system for the benefit of farmers, wherein the entire system is now tool based, and those tools mainly include the farm management software and also the predictive modeling that is available to us. Robotics and automation is another important technology that is now coming up. And in this case, looking at the non-availability of skilled labors, we are now talking about autonomous tractors. We are talking about several automated machineries, and we are talking about robotics, especially in harvesting and planting aspects. And then we do have those robots which can selectively, control weeds. Internet of Things in agriculture. Earlier, we never, looked at these technologies. We always kept ourselves differently away from engineering sectors. Gone those days, we have to interact with them. Now we are using IoT in agriculture to a greatest possible extent. And if you look at the existing smart irrigation management systems, whether it is livestock management system or even the monitoring of the environment that is prevailing in a given part of, area, it is very important that we implement the decisions based on the IoT. AI in soil health and plant health management. So it is, now everybody is talking about AI. AI is now revolutionizing agriculture. It provides several innovative solutions to complex challenges that we are facing in agriculture sector, especially, those problems associated with soil and plant health management. So there is a need for us to focus on how do we leverage the artificial intelligence for the benefit of, farmers. Then application of AI, where we can use this artificial intelligence, is basically in crop monitoring, identifying the disease affected areas, soil analysis, predicting the yield levels of a given crop, and also identification of the weeds and planning for their management. So these are some of the areas where we can apply artificial intelligence. If you look at the benefits of AI in agriculture, now we have been working with several international organizations to, use AI to a maximum extent in agriculture sector. Basically, it brings several benefits. It helps the farmers in making quick decisions. This is very important. And then optimization. It is basically precision in application of nutrients, whether it is your seeds, fertilizers, chemicals, water, whatever it is. And then early detection of several issues that can bother crops in the later stages. And then it also helps us in ensuring labor efficiency. So these are some of the important benefits that AI brings to farmers in agriculture sector. There are certain challenges because it is an upcoming area. There are a lot of issues. Basically, the quality of the data is very important in decision making. Many times we don't have the data itself. The availability of data itself is an issue. And then technical expertise that is not available with majority of our farmers, and the early cost of implementation. It's somewhat costlier. And the last and the most important aspect is the ethical and privacy concerns. Basically handling of the data should comply with the privacy regulations, which is sometime, not done. So that is very, very important. These are few important challenges that are associated with application of AI in agriculture sector. And now we are talking about future prospects. Yes, we cannot deviate from this. This is the call of the day, and we need to integrate AI in all aspects, basically integrating with IoT, developing the most user-friendly interfaces, then scalability of solutions, that's also important, and then sustainability focus. So these are in these areas, we can definitely make use of AI as an important aspect. And these are the emerging areas, especially as far as agriculture is concerned. So several initiatives have been done, both state and central government have done. I will just try to touch upon few things. We have the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. We call that as an NMSA, which is basically focusing on soil health management, on-farm water management, and the most important aspect is the agroforestry. And if you look at the national project on organic farming, NPOF that we call, is basically aiming at helping the farmers through training and capacity building, assisting research and development activities, especially focusing on studies that enhance organic farming practices and popularize them among the farmers. And the third aspect is the quality control. If you look at another important initiative of the government of India, is basically this PMKSY, which is Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, which is completely focusing on the water management related aspects. Here also they're trying to bring the convergence of investments into agriculture sector, expanding area under irrigation by making use of more water, more crop per drop, things like that, and enhancing water conservation, especially the surface water conservation. And we also have another important aspect. One is Paramparagata Krishi Vikas Yojana, which was launched in 2015. Basically, it helps farmers through a cluster approach, organizing farmers into clusters, building their capacities through trainings, assisting them financially, and also extending market support for them to take up these aspects. And then you're all aware, India is one important country which has launched this soil health card system, which is nowhere prevailing in other parts of the developing world. And this is basically helping farmers to understand and assess their soil health. And it will also enable the farmers to take decisions with regard to dosage and time of application of fertilizers, guiding them, and then promoting sustainable practices that benefit both soil and the plant. And then there are a lot of technological innovations in soil and plant health management. I'm just trying to restrict to the things that are happening within the country. Basically, we are now talking about integrating different modern technologies so that we achieve efficiency, sustainability, and precision in agricultural practices. So here we have the soil intelligence system. Basically, we call that as this. This mainly provides farmers with a precise, agronomic recommendations, especially with regard to practices that can bring down the use of fertilizers, use of water, improve efficiency, and also help in reducing the greenhouse gas emissions. And there are several challenges, and we also have to look at the future directions in soil and plant health management. Again, I'm trying to restrict to the Indian context. Here, we have challenges like soil degradation. We have challenges of climate change. We have challenges of awareness and training program that is provided to the farmers, and also the research constraints. And then we have to look at the participation of the community. It's very important. Though we come out with several research outcomes, technologies, all that should go to the community. In this case, we are very strongly proposing that unless you involve the community, especially in the entire system of technology adoption, and then also bring a supportive policy environment in the state, it will not be possible for us to do things. In this regard, educating farmers, training them, building their capacities, involving farmers in research. We have been talking about participatory research for several years, but that has to happen in a realistic way. And then it is community-based monitoring. So these are three important aspects that we should adopt in ensuring the community participation in soil and plant health management. The policy support is very important. We may talk about many things. We may come out with several research outcomes. Unless we have a policy, enabling policy environment, it will not be possible for us to do it. The entire success of soil and plant health management, it depends on what type of policy environment that we have. So in that regard, we need to extend incentives for sustainable agriculture practices. We need to extend a lot of support for research and extension services. Thanks to the central government, the current year budget has enhanced the support for research. And we should have a very strong regulatory mechanisms. Implementable regulatory mechanisms is very important. And then in a minimum infrastructure that is required to support the entire agriculture structure. And then we have been talking about integrating traditional knowledge with a modern, practices. We always claim that we are the masters, we are the, leaders in the entire world with regard to, traditional knowledge. But to what extent we have been using it in agriculture sector? We have been very rich in that. But of late, we have resorted completely to chemical farming. So in that regard, there is a need for us to promote these practices such as traditional soil fertility practices. Vriksha Ayurveda, basically we talk about science of plant health, and then indigenous pest management practices that were prevailing, and then community seed banks, biodiversity conservation, reviving traditional water management system. So these are very, very important aspects. We have seen several interesting traditional water management systems that were available, that were practiced. Even there is a place called Mudenur in Kolar district of Karnataka, where 7 villages, which come under the command area of that tank, they decide depending on the water storage that is present in the tank. And then they decide how much area to plant their paddy. So these were wonderful systems that were there. We need to bring back those systems so that we ensure that there is a strong connection. Finally, I would like to touch upon few aspects of future of smart soil and plant health management. Basically, we look at few aspects: autonomous mechanization, autonomous tractors, autonomous planters, autonomous harvesters. So that is the talk of the day. We have to do that. And also we have to look at the robotics, especially, when it comes to horticulture, harvesting of coconut, harvesting of arecanut. We have a lot of difficulties. We don't find people, skilled people to do it, or we end up in harvesting, immature nuts. All those things are happening. I think such technologies are required. And, integration of big data. This is very important. And cloud computing is one of the important aspects that will help in collection and data analysis. And, that will help in making quick decisions at the farm level. And, promoting precision farming systems. Basically, in case of irrigation, we are now talking about precise water management. As agriculture is one of the biggest consumer of water, it is need of the day. We want to have water in every part of the country. In that regard, precision in irrigation system is the only way through which we can ensure that every farm gets little water for crop production. The circular economy, we had this. India traditionally has this in our blood. We have it in our blood. We don't just use once and throw it. So the circular economy in agriculture is one of the most important aspects. We want to recycle that we have been slowly forgetting. Recycling of the organic waste, converting them into biocompost, fertilizers, reducing dependency on the synthetic inputs. So that is one aspect that we should look at it. Then smart greenhouse and vertical farming, especially the urban areas are now catching up with this technology. And this is going to be the future around surrounding the big cities. And then we also look at the climate resilient agricultural practices. This is another important aspect. Research and innovation is required in this aspect so that we make, farm more resilient to adapt to the changing climatic conditions. And global collaboration is very important. We cannot say that we know everything or we can do everything. It is the era of collaboration. We need to collaborate with individuals, institutions across the globe so that we bring technology that is suitable to our thing. So to conclude, the smart soil and plant health management, its future is really promising, and it is the need of this country. And with a wide range of technological innovations, it is possible for the farmers to transform agriculture in the Indian context. We can be the global leaders, provided we look at these technologies, use them in a very interesting way. And we also need to embrace different solutions. Farmers need to be educated on this, and they need to optimize the resource use and also crop production, reduce the ill effects of the environment, and build resilience against the climate change. And key to success, basically in SSPHM, it lies in integrating technologies with sustainable farming practices, We need to bring collaborations among the stakeholders across the nation. And also, it depends on the smart, integrated, and sustainable approaches to soil and plant health systems. So with focused innovation, focused research, and policy support, the country can lead the way in ensuring food security, and it can also bring environmental sustainability and also develop resilience in agricultural production systems. So by combining the existing rich traditional knowledge with the latest technological advancements, it is possible that the Indian agriculture sector can thrive in a better way in the 21st century and beyond. With this, I stop here. Due to paucity of time, I've really rushed. I did not get into details of it, but I will be available for all of you during the tea break. If you have any questions, you can ask. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chairman. And
Thank you, sir. So, sir has given a bird view of smart soil and plant health management, how we can manage the changes and also how to manage the soil and plant health. Thank you, sir. On behalf of University of Horticulture Sciences, Bagalkot, I request Dr. Tammaya, sir, to felicitate our keynote address speaker, Professor Ashok Alur, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Kodagu University. So I also request Ashok, sir, to receive our felicitation. So it's an honor for UHS Bagalkot. Thank you, sir. Thank you for receiving our honor. So now the next lead speaker is Dr. Sharana Basappa S. Deshmukh. He is a professor of entomology from University of Agriculture and Horticultural Sciences, Shivamogga, Karnataka. He is going to deliver on invasive insect pests and their management in horticultural ecosystem. Please, sir.
A warm good morning to everyone. Respected Chair, Co-Chair, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Alur sir, and lead speakers, delegates, and students, friends. I am standing before you to share my experiences with the invasive insect pests and its management. Slide, please. Thank you. So invasive insect pests and their management and a challenge in agriculture. We are facing many challenges in agriculture. One among them is the invasive pests. Invasive pests are like uninvited guests to our home. These invasive insect pests are the biggest challenge. They are creating the loss in biodiversity, threatening to the human health, risk of economic losses, and also disturbing the ecosystem. And these invasive pests, they are entering once in 2 years. Every year we are noticing new insect pests or new diseases or new weeds into the country. It is mainly because of our commercial and social globalization that make the whole globe as a small village. Every person can reach to other countries. It has become very accessible. So insect pests and diseases and also the weeds, they are inviting or invading to the new places and creating a huge damage and also causing huge losses with respect to the food production. And as on today, the 173 species we have noticed in India, out of that, the 33 insect pests noticed, among them, if you look to the last 10 years data, every year we are noticing a new insect pest in India and causing huge damage to the crops, or either it may be of agricultural crops or horticultural crops, or or causing the diseases in the human being and also animals. So these are some of the insect pests recently noticed in India. One is the apple leaf blotch miner, mango soft scale, then cassava mealybug, then a different species of whiteflies. And in 2018, the fall armyworm Spodoptera frugiparda, which is a very serious pest on maize, and after its invasion, every farmer is applying the insecticides. One of the very serious pests on maize, fortunately, which is not attacking the horticultural crops. We are noticing it's more infestation on maize. Then the next alternative host is the sorghum and bajra and ragi. And the other species like the tomato leaf miner, which invaded in India in 2015, another very serious pest on tomato pinworm or tomato leaf miner, then western flower thrips. These are the invasive pests entering into the India and causing huge damage. And the path of invasion, it's to assess or to know how the pest has invaded to India. Though we have the DPPQS, Directorate of Plant Protection, Quarantine and Storage, the plant quarantine system is strictly monitoring the invasive pests. Even then, the pests are entering into the India. And there are many ways. It may enter through the seeds or through wood logs or through the ship or through the aircrafts. These are the pests. They enter into the India or any new country and cause huge damage. And the very important features of any invasive pests. So I have taken the example of fall armyworm, which is one of the very serious pests on maize. The very important or innate qualities of the insect pest. It lays large number of eggs, more than 1,000, a single female which can lay more than 1,000 eggs, and the facultative diapause on long migration. This fall armyworm, which can migrate in a single night 100 to 500 kilometers. And these insect pests doesn't require any visa or passport to move from one country to other country. Very easily they transfer from the border, they cross the border, but we human being needs the passport and visa to move from one country to other country. And the very important, the feeding behavior of the insect. If it is feeding on the leaf surface, we can manage very well. If it is feeding in the world, then the insecticide has to reach to the target site, that is insect, then we can get very good control. The feeding behavior, then facultative diapause, overlapping generations, and these are the very important innate qualities of the pest. Due to that, these become very serious. And with respect to the steps of invasion, again, I take the example of fall armyworm. When it was noticed in 2018 May in Shimoga and Davangere districts for the first time in the Asian continent, and immediately after that, which spread to the southern states, then central states, then it has spread to the eastern states of the country. Now we find this insect pest throughout the country, except Jammu and Kashmir and some other, the northern states. Within a very short span of time, that is 6 to 7 months, it has spread to the entire country and causing huge damage. And why these invasive pests, which cause a very serious threat in the invaded countries? One is a very important one is lack of natural enemies like parasitoids, predators, and pathogens. Then rapid reproduction and adaptation. These invasive pests, they are very important. One of the very important qualities, they can adapt to varied agroclimatic conditions and cause damage. Then aggressive feeding behavior. If you look to the maize crop, if you won't take up any control measures, 25-old crop, it looks so ugly, we can't harvest a single crop from the maize plant. So that situation, we can find in case of maize ecosystem, and also in case of tomato leaf miner, that is Thoremia absoluta. So that is also, if you look to the fruits and also leaves, the complete the mining of the leaves and also punctures on the fruits you can notice, and outcompeting with the native species. This is very, very important. Now, whatever the native insect pests, their infestation is reduced drastically after invasion of the fall armyworm in case of maize, and also in case of tomato. The tomato leaf miner has become very serious. Now we are looking very less infestation of Helicoverpa armigera and Spodoptera litera in tomato ecosystem. And also improper management practices. That is very, very important. When we find a new invasive pest, farmers, they are rushed to use the insecticides. That is the first line of defense to manage the pest in outbreak situations. There, the selection of the insecticide is very, very important, and also the method of application. And these are the things we should know when the pest arrived in a new area. The first very important one is its origin. And next one is understanding about the biology, nature of damage, symptoms of attack, then feeding behavior, and any new association with the natural enemies, then population dynamics, development of ETL, and the management of the management. When this is the fall armyworm, in 2018, if you look to the data, we find all the pest infestation. That is fall armyworm, Spodoptera litera, Spodoptera, that is inferens, then Chilopartlus, and Mythimna separata, that is Sesamia inferens. And in 2019, we find the only infestation of Spodoptera frugiperda. It has displaced the other native, the stem borers, and also the defoliators. And these fall armyworm, which attacks the crop before attacking the other borers and also the defoliators. And we find the only infestation of Spodoptera frugiperda now. We won't get much infestation of Sesamia inferens or the Chilopartlus, which are the native stem borers on maize. And this is the consequences of the invasion. Fall armyworm, when invaded in India in 2018, 5 to 10% loss in production. And in 2018-19, the reduction in the yield that ranged from 37,000 to 75,000 tons in India. The cost of plant protection increased 10 times. Before 2018, the cost of plant protection was 450 rupees. After the invasion of fall armyworm, which increased 4,760 rupees, which includes the cost of plant protection and also the labor cost and the chemicals. To give another example, that is of chili black thrips, causing 60 to 70% the damage and reduction in the yield up to the tune of 85%. The Tuta absoluta, which is a very serious pest on tomato, causing 60% damage and which caused the reduction in 70% of the yield. Similarly with papaya mealybug, so which caused loss to the tune of 435 crores. We have a big list. I'm giving you this very important insect pests which are causing the serious damage, causing damage and loss in the yield. And with respect to the fall armyworm, after the invasion of this fall armyworm, the farmers started using these insecticides to manage the pest. At least 2 rounds of insecticides they are taking, once when the crop is around 15 to 20 days, and another spray when the crop is around 35 to 40 days. To manage this invasive pest, there is no single tool effectively in reducing the pest. We need different the IPM components to reduce the pest population, starting from deep plowing to the use of insecticides. First and foremost, very important is when the pest we noticed for the first time, and we should give the alert. We should create awareness among the farming communities, and we need to bring to the state department and also the central government to take the control measures. And we did for the first time in 2018. And we did creating awareness by giving radio talk and calling to the pesticide dealers, then training to the farmers, And we also immediately published the bulletins in Kannada and English. And also we developed a video clip of 8 to 10 minutes regarding the fall armyworm, its biology, nature of damage, symptoms, and management, both in local and English language. And we gave to the State Department of Agriculture to create awareness among the farming community and also the line department and extension workers. And one fortunate thing is the invasive pests, they create a huge havoc like boom and bust. For 3 to 4 years, their infestation is very, very high. It's very difficult to manage. After that, the native natural enemies like predators or parasitoids or the fungal pathogens, they create a new association with the pests and brings down the pest population. So similarly, in case of fall armyworm, we reported a good number of natural enemies, which include the predators and parasitoids, and also one very important pathogen, that is Metrrhizium reli. Natural epizootics we can find in the field up to 70 to 80% the infection. So that is the one beauty of the nature. The nature itself will take care, sometimes the human or the scientists or the farmers, when they are unable to manage the pest. So this is the very important good example of natural epizootics. We need to explore this entomopathogen, isolate the compounds, and we can mass multiply and give to the needy farmers. And biological control with respect to the other insect pests like cassava mealybug. Very recently, the IITA gave to the Anagares lopezi, one of the very important the parasitoid, and papaya mealybug, then Rugo spiraling whitefly. We have a good number of natural enemies we can use. And another very important technology is splats, which we can use in case of fall armyworm and also in tomato pinworm to manage the pest. And with respect to the insecticides, the last resort in pest management is selection of the right insecticide. It is very, very important. Rotation of the insecticides, time of application, and method of application. In case of fall armyworm, oral application when the crop is around 35 to 40 days, that is very, very important to manage the pest very effectively. And the last slide, the take-home message, this is very, very important to manage the invasive pests. So we need to live with them. There is no other solution. We cannot eradicate the invasive pests. The second thing is national and international collaboration is very much important. Fall armyworm and other the Tuta absoluta, which is having a more than 100 years of history in Americas. We need to learn from the American people, discussions, deliberations about these invasive pests. So that is very much needed. Then science-based and experience-based technologies, that is the need of the hour to manage the pest. Then government and private sector needs to work together. That is also very, very important. And location-specific management strategies of the pest management, that is also very much essential to reduce the invasion and also to manage the effective pest of these invasive pests. So I greatly acknowledge the organizing committee, chairman and co-chairman, then co-organizers for giving me the opportunity to deliver my talk and my experience with the invasive pests and its management. Then my university and farming community and the delegates and dear friends. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for nice presentation. So now the topic is open for discussion. Please quick 1 or 2 questions. If you don't have any questions, we'll move on to the next speaker. Dr. A.R. Kurbar. No. Dr. Anand Mastiwadi, Professor of Agronomy and Head, PPMC, UHS Bagalkot.
Next, Here Kurbar, that's A.R. Kurbar. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Sharanabasappa sir. Now the presenter is Dr. Anand Jha, So he holds a PhD in agricultural entomology, brings over 20 years of expertise in the pesticide industry. As region head, regulatory and R&D at UPL Limited, the world's fifth largest agrochemical company. He oversees product development, registration, compliance, and liaison efforts. A prolific researcher with 20 plus published papers. He excels in regulatory strategies to mitigate risk and protect the environment. An active member of CCFI, BASI, Dr. Jha achievements include the CWSS Fellow Award and Openhag Award for registering the groundbreaking three-way herbicide Triscale. So I welcome Dr. Anand Jha, who is a regional head, regulatory research and development at UPL Delhi.
Thank you, madam. I think I'm unable to share my screen. There is some issue. So the host isn't allow multiple sharing. So if you allow me, so I can share my screen.
Sir, you are allowed. You can present, sir. You are audible.
Thank you, madam. So is my screen visible, madam?
Visible, sir. Screen is
Thank
visible.
you.
Sir, please go for presentation mode.
Sure. So thank you, everyone. First of all, good morning and very good morning, respected chairman, sir, co-chairman, sir, rapporteurs, honorable vice chancellor, sir, present guests, students, and delegates. Very good morning to all. I am Dr. Anand Jha, and I am Regional Head, Research, Regulatory Research and Development for UPL. So today I will give my presentation on a novel insecticide, which is flupiramine, which is effective against many insect pests. So before presenting about the flupiramine, I will discuss these topics about our parent company, that is UPL, then what UPL R&D focus is, and then of course about this novel insecticide, that is flupiramine, its uses and details, its toxicity profile, then conclusion, and then we'll show some UPL portfolio products, which is very important for management of pests and diseases of horticultural crops. So friends, as you know, UPL is formerly known as United Phosphorus Limited. It was established in 1969 by our chairman, Shri Raju Shroff sir. So for his contribution to Indian agriculture and trade and industry, Government of India conferred him with the Padma Bhushan, highest civilian award in 2021. And his honor, also Government of India has launched a 5-year postal ticket. So whatever today UPL is, because of his vision and his vision only. So about the UPL, we are the global leader in sustainable agriculture solution and food security. We are the #1 biosolution provider in the world. We are the 5th agrochem industry, largest agrochem industry in the world. If we see our revenue, it's around $5 billion. And we have more than 90% market access. We are present in more than 138 countries. And most of the business comes from export, that is outside India, that is 91% business. More than 13,000 employees were globally working in UPL, and we have 43 manufacturing sites, 17 in India, rest out of India, and we have 30 R&D facilities globally. And since its inception, UPL acquired more than 40 companies in last 25 years. So this is about the UPL. So we are, as I said, we have presented in 130 countries, more than 130 countries, 43 manufacturing sites you can see on the map, and 30 R&D facilities. So our main objective in UPL is reimagining sustainability through connected value. We have certain values. We have different verticals which deal with different things. So we have one vertical, that is UPL OpenAg, which is dealing with the innovation and food security. It's a global crop protection solution providing unit, which work with the farmer, with work for the farmer's pain point, address the grower's pain point. Another is the nurture.farm, which is our AgTech platform that is dealing with providing services to the farmers like farm machineries. Then we also give crop insurance. We also provide precision farming, dealing with the drone, then digital marketing. These were done with the nurture.farm. Then we have one vertical that is natural plant products, which provide the differentiated products to the farmers. This is dealing with the basically biological and biological solutions for sustainable growth to the farmers. Then we have one unit that is Adventa, which is a seed unit, which is dealing with the seeds for provide farmers a high quality seed. Then we have one division that is Deco, which deals with the post-harvest prevention of crop. We have several products in this, like we are the largest manufacturer of aluminum phosphide in the world. We participate in the Safe Grain campaigning of Government of India, and we also have a product like chlorprofam, which is anti-sprouting agent. We in potatoes. We also have one vertical that is Vito Pharma, which is dealing with the bee health. We provide a product and support for beekeepers to maintain their bee health. Then we are there to support the farmers from seed to post-harvest to sale of the product. As I told, we have a seed company that is Adventa. We have different products like Ziba for soil health. We have a crop protection units. We have insecticide range of products like insecticide, fungicide, herbicide, seed treatment products. Then we also dealing with the plant stress management and e-commerce, post-harvest, and helps in farmers for marketing. We have a strong R&D focus. So we have 1,000+ R&D professionals working in UPL, 30 R&D facilities, and we invest 3% of our revenue in R&D. We have 10 field stations throughout the world, 1 open farm center, 16 chemistry and formulation units, and 3 AgTech units. This shows our strength and dedication towards the innovation of the product. So product registration give a company market access to the country. So we have more than 14,000 registered products throughout the globe, and more than 5,300 products is under registration globally. We also go for the patent filings. We work with, we innovate the product. So more than 1,800 patents were granted for UPL, and 3,200 is still pending, and still 600 IP inventions we have done and in 130 countries. So this is our strength. And UPL is also committed towards the sustainability. So UPL is recognized as a top agrochemical company by Dow Jones Sustainability Index for this consecutive second year this year. So UPL achieved the highest score in globally in agrochemical sector and 4th highest in chemical sector in Dow Jones Sustainability Index. We are also committed to reduce the atmospheric carbon dioxide. So we have taken 1 gigaton carbon goal by 2040. This is all about the UPL. Now coming to a product that is fluporivin, which is a novel molecule for management of insect pest. So as you know, fluporivin is an insecticide. It's come under pyrrolidine family under IREC group 4F. And it was first developed by Meiji Seika Pharma Company of Japan and first registered in Japan in 2019 and was introduced in India in 2022. So this is a new molecule and a very effective molecule for control of hoppers in various crops. Its site of action is to bind to the acetylcholine sites of phenylacetylene receptors, which causes symptoms like hyperexcitation or lethargy and paralysis. So fluopyramine is a selective blocker for neonicotinoid acetylcholine receptors in insects that disturb and leads to the paralysis and eventually death of the pest. Unlike other neonicotinoids, it is different from other neonicotinoids as it doesn't bind with the mammalian neonicotinoid acetylcholine receptor sites, which makes it safer for insects like honeybee while effectively controlling the pest. So it's very effective against, as I said, against stem borers and hoppers in various crops. So it's we find this very effective in paddy and mango. Currently, it is registered in paddy, but trials are going on mango. So 2 formulations are registered in country, that is 10 SC and 2% granule for use in the country. So the key features is its novel mode of action. It's block insect-specific nicotine acetylcholine receptors, which I said it is distinct from neonicotinoids. It's effective against resistance pest and control neonicotinoid and pyrethroid resistant pests, especially BPH in rice and hoppers. And it's having systemic and translaminar activity. That means it is absorbed by the plant and providing long-lasting protection against the pest, target pest. It has a flexible application method. We can spray this as we have a spray solution available in the country. You can go with the seed treatment. You can go with the soil application. Granule formulations are also available in the country. It's a highly selective. It's majorly target plant hoppers and stem borers only, and very safe to the beneficial insects. And no phytotoxicity effects were observed by using at a recommended dose. There are certain challenges while you use a product frequently. So there is a chances that product may develop resistance. So IPM strategies are important. Second, it has a limited crop registration. So since this product is very specific to BPH or hoppers, so now we have only registration in rice. So it requires extensive research and approval and regulatory approvals to extend its level claim. And cost factor, it's costly as this is a new and patented molecule. So it's expensive for as compared to the generic insecticide. So there is a limited adoption by small scale farmers. These are the few challenges for using the fluopyramine. So as I said, this is a nicotine acetylcholine receptor binder. So you can see this bind the site and block the neurotransmitter transmission. So you can see the symptoms in untreated healthy hopper you can see, but treated you can observe paralyzed. We can see the paralysis of symptoms after a few hours of the treatment. So fluopyramine is, as I said, is used on paddy and mango. We have done extensive research on paddy and mango. So it controls brown plant hoppers, stem borers, and mango hoppers. So dose ranges from 75 to 100 gram AI for paddy, and even at the as low as 30 gram AI, it works very well against mango plant hopper. It gives around 48 to 50-day control of mango plant hopper as compared to the other available insecticides. So we can apply when there is a pest incidence in the field, and we advocate only single application of fluopyramine on the crop as a stewardship program. We never say farmers for repeated application of fluopyramine as it has a long-lasting effect. So we advocate single application, and either spraying is done and re-entry period is 24 hours, we advocate. We have tested this in several universities throughout country before registration. These are the registration trial data. So we have in-house, we have tested throughout the country, but for regulatory purpose, we have tested in Punjab, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, and Gujarat. So efficacy trial from university stated that it is efficacious against BPH in all paddy regions with the dose of 100 gram AI, and it is very safe to the crop if we use in 2x dose also. So if you see the toxicity profile of the product, it is moderately toxic. You can see the blue triangle, and then it's also very safe for honeybee. It's LD50 for honeybee contact is more than 100 gram AI per bee, which shows that it's very, very, very safe for honeybees. So if you see the mammalian toxicity, it has a low mammalian toxicity towards rat, oral, dermal, and inhalation, all three routes. And it's non-irritant to skin, which is very important, and mild irritant to eye, and it is non-sensitizer to skin. If we see the ecotox profile, it's very low toxic, safe for honeybee at field use concentration. Fish, it is moderately toxic. Daphnia, moderately toxic, and birds, it's again very low toxic. So in short, it is safe for human being and beneficial insects like bees at recommended dose. It has a moderately risk to aquatic life, so require precaution near bodies, water bodies, and it's not a skin sensitizer, but may cause eye irritation like other chemicals or soaps. If we see the environmental safety profile of the product, it's not persistent. It degrades very fast, moderately persistent in the soil, and it is low to moderate. It has a low to moderate leaching potential. Yeah.
Anand sir,
Yeah.
I think please sum up, sir.
Yeah,
We are,
sure.
rushing shortage
2
of time.
minutes, just 2 minutes. So it degrades very fast in the nature, except anaerobic condition, and you will not find residue, low residue on the crops if you use as per the safety profile. So fluopyramine, in short, is an innovative solution for pest management with a favorable toxicological profile and high efficacy against resistant pest when applied responsibly, and it poses minimum risk to human health and environment. So there are certain products which are used in the horticultural crops. For grapes, we have Anorca and Renman and Cuprofix and Avancer Glow. Cuprofix nowadays is very well in demand as far as horticultural crops is concerned. New bacterial diseases are coming either in grape or pomegranate or citrus. So every NRCG or everybody is recommending Cuprofix. Then we have in pomegranate, we have Cuprofix and Avancer Glow, which are fungicides. Then chili, we have insecticide like Ettavon, Ulala, and Lancer Gold, and fungicide like Fidium and Anorca, and herbicide like Dose Super. And potato, Ulala, Renman, Saf, Avancer Glow, Unilex, and Urja, which is anti-sprouting agent used in cold storage. And tomato, of course, we have Ulala, Sikito, Uniron, and fungicide Laurel, Avancer Glow, and Anorca. And last one, mango, we have Ulala, Renova, and in self-cold, Euthenem and Saf for management of this. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, committee, for giving me, organizing committee, for giving me a chance to present mine. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your an insightful lecture. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So now I request Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Ashok Lalu sir to present Best Agri Entrepreneurship Award for HS Ishwarappa. I also request HS Ishwarappa to come on to the dais and receive the award.
I also request Honorable Vice Chancellor to felicitate Dr. Sharan Basappa S. Deshmukh, sir.
I request the board members of the UHS Bagalkot, sir, please join the moment, sir. Manohar, sir, Madam Anita, madam, and Patil, sir, please, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Next, we'll move on to the speaker, Dr. Anand Mastiwali, Professor of Agronomy and Head, PPMC UHS Bagalkot, is going to deliver on regenerative practices for sustainable horticulture. Please.
Good morning to you all. Chairman, co-chairman, honorable members, board members of our university, and our beloved Vice Chancellor, Kodagu University, Dr. Ashish Kalur, and all the faculties, delegates, and my student friends. This is the topic that I will go henceforth. Will discuss few aspects about the regenerative practices in for sustainable horticulture. We all know the problems being faced by us. Regarding the modern agriculture that we are chemical agriculture, these are the problems. I don't go in detail about the problems and other repercussions of the excessive use of external inputs, especially chemical inputs in agriculture. And we are looking for an alternative to these, the modern conventional farming systems. This is the regenerative agriculture. It is being defined in many ways by different fellows. And one among the definition is regenerative agriculture is a long-term holistic design that attempts to grow as much food as possible by using fewer resources in a way that revitalizes the soil rather than depleting it. Means the main emphasis is to revitalize the lost health of the soil and to make it productive with lesser use of resources, and in a way that the soil has to regenerate on its own. To achieve this, we have a burgeoning population. We have crossed 140 crores or so. We have to meet out the food requirement. At the same time, it is to be produced free of any chemical residues and rich in nutrition. This is an Herculean task. We have a limited resources and demand is huge. And these are all our concern: declining soil fertility, pests and diseases, declining income, return on investment, environmental problems. These are all our concern. And the pesticide contamination in food produce because of the excessive and unscientific usage of the pesticides and also the external inputs. As per the consumption of this, of course, in Karnataka, we are much safer side compared to the other states as far as usage of these pesticides is concerned. But among the vegetable and fruits which are consumed fresh, this is our concern. Say the usage to the tune of 50% among all the crops. Of course, the cotton in which the farmers are using more pesticides, but with the coming of BT cotton, the pesticide usage in cotton also considerably reduced. But our more concern is fruits and vegetables, which are consumed fresh, and the pesticide residues are being found in those which are having health concern, because what we eat daily should be free of any pesticide residues, and also it should be nutritious. The two things we have to consider while producing crops and crop produce. And in the next 50 years or so, we need to emphasize on more and more production. So, but we need to go for another alternative to the conventional agriculture, a modern agriculture system. It may be regenerative agriculture, ecological farming, eco-friendly for natural organic. So we are, putting or bringing more fascinated buzzwords to make us to understand the alternative to the modern agriculture farming systems that we are facing nowadays. At the same time, consumers are also aware of nowadays, and there is more demand for organically produced foods. But what we need to do is, these are the two strategies for any crop production activities. Any crop production activity should reduce the emission of greenhouse gases, so should not pollute the environment. Another main emphasis is to produce sustainable, adopt a sustainable agricultural productivity and income also, and it should have a resilience to climate. Nowadays, climatic vagaries and vicissitudes and climate change, global warming are also worrying us as far as crop production is concerned. And thus came what is known as regenerative agriculture, regenerative farming practices, which we should emphasize more on these. So in this, there are 4 pillars here. One is to enhance the or improve the soil health. Another, the most important is soil health here. Then to improve the water quality and availability. Then to overcome the climate change problems and optimize the resource. See, the resources like land, water, and any resources, biodiversity available in the farm are very meager, and it is to be judiciously used. And for that, we need to go for some practices, regenerative practices like reducing soil health, means least disturbance to the soil. Then integrate livestock, cover crops, maintaining always live roots in the soil, and crop diversity. These are few of the important regenerative practices you need to adopt. Then only you can go for such. See, one of these is avoiding the disturbance, in which case some of the farmers are following minimum tillage, reduced tillage, or zero tillage even. So instead of going regular deep tillage, we may as well reduce the tillage operations so that we are not disturbing the soil aggregates. It helps to form the soil aggregates so that if the soil structure and aggregates are well formed, it maintains the soil physicochemical and biological properties. See, in one of the studies by Cairo, wherein they found the reduced tillage or zero tillage and other things in a minimum tillage, you could see the increase in the organic matter content over a period of time compared to the deep tillage. So this is what it reflects, that we should reduce the tillage operations. Here also, in one of the study, they found the higher microbial biomass in the soil if they go for no tillage or conservation tillage operations. So that the soil disturbance will be less, we can maintain good microbial population in the soil. And also here the change in total soil carbon in one of the studies, it has reflected here. So one aspect with respect to regenerative practices, reduced tillage and minimum tillage. The another most important is cover crops. So in organic and natural farming, we are often telling to the farmers that you should not expose the soil directly to the sunlight. So either by covering the crops, either live crops like cowpea or any of the fast growing leguminous crop, or you can as well go for covering the soil with the residues, harvested crops residues, and also the crop rotations. So in in many of the studies across the globe, you could see the positive change in the organic carbon when they go for crop rotations and covering the crops with legumes followed by cereals and maintaining some cover crops here. So in our own study, we have done for your kind information across all the, Karnataka, in all the farm universities. So also in UHS Bagalkot, we have done 5 natural farming studies consecutively for 5 years. We have scientific data of natural farming in most of the vegetables, fruit science. So which encompasses soil parameters, microbiology parameters, nutrient parameters, physical parameter, infiltration rate, pest and disease. All these parameters we have recorded. And based on our study also, you can see here over the years, there is an increase in the organic infiltration rate, physical parameters like infiltration rate, increase in the infiltration rate in regenerative practices like natural and organic farming. So across various crops also, when you compare the initial infiltration rate and that of the final infiltration rate after few years, there is an increase in the infiltration rate. And also when you compare the treatments, regenerative practices like natural and organic farming help in increasing the infiltration rate. So when you increase the infiltration rate, that helps in storage of more moisture in the soil. And you can take, instead of 1 crop, you can take 2 crops. So this is the one where we have gone for mulching up the soil with the crop residues. Another third important regenerative practice is live roots. Always maintaining the live roots in the soil help to have more microbial load in the soil, keeps the soil more lively. So cover crops, polyculture, crop rotation can be had. This is one of the beans that we have undertaken at Dharwad. So wherein we could maintain the live coverage on the soil and live roots below ground, above ground and below ground, atmosphere, microclimate, and even biomass we can maintain by going for such of the leguminous crops. By doing this, you can see in regenerative agriculture practices like natural organic farming, higher microbial, bacterial, fungal load compared to the conventional farmers' practice. These third and fourth treatments. So also the actinomycetes population were found higher in natural and organic farming compared to the conventional farmers' practice. So apart from that, we could also notice a higher phosphorus solubilizing microbiome and also N fixers in these natural farming, organic farming, which are regenerative acid phosphate and dehydrogenation activities were also found higher in regenerative practices. Then last important is crop diversity. Last but one is crop diversity, wherein we can increase crop diversity. If you increase the crop diversity, the pest and disease can be kept at or below the ETL level. So in addition to that, we can also have a higher number of natural enemies and plural visitors. You can see more number of natural enemies and plural visitors in all the natural farming and organic farming across all the crops. So also quality is concerned. See, the produce produced out of the natural regenerative farming will have a higher quality, and you can keeping quality is also more compared to the conventional practices. And also the TSS is more in natural and organic farming, and acceptability of the produce produced out of this will also be more. The last one is we have to integrate animals. Without animals, you cannot call a regenerative, organic, and natural farming. It is very Herculean task. It is ridiculous to call anybody practicing regenerative, organic, natural farming without animals. So it is an integral component of the. We have so many desi cows, more than 75 desi cow breeds in India. We can as well utilize these. Unlike the Jersey cows, desi cows have nutritious. We have analyzed. We are also skeptical before this scheme project. But when we analyze the dung of exotic cows and that of the desi cows, you could notice a higher microbial population in almost all the desi cow dungs compared to the exotic like HF and Jersey. So also the what you call arthropods and this is a arthropod population and earthworm population in the soil. When you used more Jivamrata, Gana Jivamrata, all those, and also mulching and live roots, this encouraged more of arthropods and the microbial population, regenerative practices like natural and organic farming. So in what I mean to say, in crop production, we need to focus on only two aspects. Very important is crop production, crop nutrition, which is most important, which we can achieve after few years. But as far as crop protection is concerned, it's a very Herculean task to keep the population in natural organic regenerative practice at below the ETL level. So where we can go for not just one or two components, we can say integrated approach to achieve the regenerative practice. You may as well use all or any of these components for maintaining the soil nutrition, depending on the availability of resources, techniques at the farmer's end. So also for protecting the pests and diseases, all these ecological practices can be achieved only two sizes. Okay. So last, we know, we were thinking that I used to think, this is what I wanted just to quote one by Gospath, which is very much relevant nowadays. I used to think the top environment problems were biodiversity loss, ecosystem collapse, and climate change. I thought that with 30 years of good science, we could address these problems, but I was wrong. The top environmental problems are selflessness, greed, and apathy. And to deal with those, we need a spiritual and cultural transformation. And we scientists don't know how to do that. So we know all this one. It doesn't mean that farmers are not knowing. They are all knowing, but what is important is how to put in practice. The execution is the major hurdle at farm level. That is what it is to be, brought in. So lastly, the desire for chemical-free sustainable agriculture is universal. Everybody wants chemical-free produce, yet agreement on how to produce it remains elusive. How to implement, how to bring in practice, it is still elusive. So we can adopt all or many of these practices to realize these regenerative agriculture practices, especially fruits and vegetables. Thank you, one and all. Okay.
Thanks to Dr. Mastioli, sir. Now I request our Honorable Members Board of Management, UHS Bagalkot, to facilitate Dr. Anand Mastioli, sir. Now Dr. Mukund, sir, will present the awards for the participants.
Sir, please, I request the board members of UHS Bagalkot, please stay on the stage to distribute the awards, sir.
Yesterday's award will be distributed today, listed in the theme 3. The awards will be distributed to the participant. First, Best Floriculturist Award to Dr. Mast Ram Dhiman. Is there? Not there. Then Chitla Santoshini, not there. Then Best Horticulturist Award, J. Srinivas. Best Horticulturist Award, Yashwant Kumar KH. If they are not there, any friends or faculty they can collect. Next, Best Horticulturist Award, Masetti Rakesh Kumar. Masetti Rakesh Kumar. Best Plantation Crop Specialist Award, Dr. K.N. Harsha. Harsha, not there. Again, Best Plantation Crop Specialist Award, Anmol Virkar. He is not there. Best Young Horticulturist Award, Vijay Lakshmi Patil. He is there. Best Floriculturist Award, Dr. Natraj S.K. Natraj. ಬಂದಾನ್ರಿ ಇದ್ರಿ ಹೇಳಿನ್ರಿ. Best Floriculturist Award, Kapil Patil. Best Plantation Crop Specialist Award, Shekhar Gaud Patil. Best Medicinal and Aromatic Crop Specialist Award, Ramesh G. Young Pomalist Award, Shivanand Onde. Kirti Malanai. Illa. Best Entomologist Award, Dr. Satyanarayan C. Rudresh DL. Somendra Verma. Best Pathologist Award. Best Young Soil Scientist. Somendra Verma. Best Young Soil Scientist Award, Atifa Manve. Best Young Pathologist Award, Venkat Ravi Teja. Best Soil Scientist Award, Arun Kumar, V. Arun Kumar. Karthik CS, Best MSc Thesis Award. Karthik CS. Best MSc Thesis Award, Suma S. Best MSc Thesis Award, Sangamesh. Sangamesh. Again, best MSc thesis award, Miss Deepika. Best MSc thesis award, Tejaswini P. Vara Vinod, Dr. Vara Vinod. Illa? PhD thesis award, best BSc thesis award, Ankit Saini. Pratiksha CT. Tohya Sakshi Bhai. Ganapati M, Dr. Ganapati M. Yeah, that's all. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now we are going to continue the session 4 with the oral presentation. So I request Chairman Dr. Tamaya sir to continue the oral presentations.
Thank you, madam. So we have completed the keynote address and the lead speakers. Next, we will move on to the oral presentation. We'll start with the Ankita Singh. She will deliver the lecture on effect of bioenhancer and biofertilizers on flowering, fruiting, and yield attributes of mango cultivar Amrapali. Ankita Singh, please.
Hello. So I thank the organizing committee, Dr. Balaji sir, and co-organizers, and my friend Dr. Satish, and all the board members of the university for giving the opportunity to speak few things about in our experience. From all the lead speakers, I profusely thank to the organizing and co-organizing committee. Thank you very much.
So now we will start the oral presentations from this theme. First, Ankit Singh is there. Ankit Singh. Ankit Singh. Shashidhar Dadmani.
Sir, I am here, sir.
Yes, please share your PPTs and go ahead with presentation, please.
Sir, is my screen visible?
So not it. So after Shashidhar, I request Dr. Anburani to be ready. So you are visible. Yeah, you are visible and audible.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
Please
ma'am.
go for presentation mode.
I'm on presentation mode only, ma'am. Ma'am, can I start?
Yes, you can start.
Thank you, ma'am. Very good morning to one and all respected dignitaries, for the teachers and my dear friends. At the outset, I'm here to present my oral presentation on impact of VAM, that is vascular or vascular fungi and bioformulations on fennel growth, productivity and profitability in northern dry zone 3 of Karnataka. So to come to the introduction of this fennel, we all know that fennel is one of the important seed spice which is grown widely in the Indian subcontinent. And we all know that the VAM and the bioformulations enhance the uptake of nutrient, resulting in increased growth, yield, and quality attributes. So to achieve the sustainability in fennel cultivation, one has to focus on biological inputs for better productivity and economical viability. So concept of VAM and the bioformulations. We know that the VAM forms the symbiotic relationship with the plant roots, which results in uptake of phosphorus and micronutrients. So these bioformulations include majorly rhizotobacters, trichoderma, azotobacter, and many more that promote the plant health in terms of uptake of the nutrients from the soil. So it is said that the synergetic effect improve the soil health and the crop productivity. So looking at the objectives of my research, first objective was to assess the effect of VAM fungi on fennel growth, yield, and quality, and as well as the economics of fennel. And the second objective was to evaluate the efficiency of bioformulations in combinations with VAM. And the third one was to determine the best combinations or the best bioformulations treatments for the sustainable fennel production. Then materials and methods. It is not that it was conducted at KRCCH, Kitturani Channamma Horticulture College.
Hello, Shashidhar sir.
Ma'am.
Sir, please go for presentation mode. Slides are not moving. And also time limit is 4+1.
Ma'am, I'm presenting in this one only, ma'am. Presentation mode only.
Sir, but it's not moving. It's not in the presentation mode. Exit the screen. And
Okay.
again you can share.
Okay, ma'am.
So time limit is, please note down, it is 4+1 minute.
Actually, I was presenting, ma'am. I'll come back to you, ma'am. I have only 15 slides, madam, to present.
Whether it is 16 or 1, you have to complete within 4+1 minutes.
Please screen entire screen. Select entire screen.
Sir.
Hello, Shashidhar.
Sir.
So please show your slides in slide mode.
Yes, sir. I'll do it.
And the time allotted for you is just 5 minutes. You have to complete within 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. I'll do it, sir. But it is showing in me as it is a full screen, sir. But I don't know, sir, how it is not technically following.
Sir, while sharing, please select entire screen.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
So third option, entire screen.
Yes, sir. I'll do it, sir. Now is it visible?
Yeah, now, yeah, go to slide mode.
Is it okay, sir, now?
Now it is visible. PPT is opened, but go to slide mode. View in the slide.
Make it slideshow, please.
Sir, I made it, sir. In my PC, it is made at full.
Okay, now you present.
Now it is moving. Please go.
Sir,
Make it
this is
slideshow.
Is it okay, sir?
Visible. Start presentation. Now slides are moving, please.
Yes, sir. The location of the research was at KRCCH Arbavi. It was designed under RCBD design with the 9 treatments and 3 applications. The variety used was Ajmer Fennel 1, sir. Is it okay now, sir? Treatments are seen?
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead.
We had 9 treatments, sir, from a control to different combinations, including VAM, NPK, and VAM combinations, and VAM with Panchagavya, VAM with Amrutpani, and Panchagavya, Amrutpani. Different treatments we had, sir. These are the different treatment combinations. And these are some of the parameters we have recorded with respect to growth and yield attributes. This table shows the number of umbels per plant, seed yield, and influenced by the application of VAM and bioformulations, because I've taken some of the important parameters to present here. So from this table, we have some of the key results like on growth, the maximum plant height, number of branches, fresh weight, and the dry weight were recorded in the tree 9 treatment. That involves the combination of VAM soil application 25 kg per hectare, Panchagavya 3%, Amrutpani 3%, and Varmi was 10%, and along with that mulching of the basins. So, and some of the key results in yield parameters includes the maximum number of umbels per plant, seed yield per umbel, and 100 seed weight, that is test weight, seed yield, and the biological yield, all were recorded again in the T9 treatment that combines.
Shashidhar.
Sir.
Hello, Shashidhar.
Sir.
You tell me in one sentence the conclusion of your experiment.
Yes, I will come to here, sir.
Which treatment is found to be effective? You tell me that one.
Yes, sir. The VAM and the bioformulations were significantly improved the fennel growth, yield, and quality attributes, and it is said to be the best treatment. So, adaptation of biofertilizers can enhance sustainable spice production in terms of fennel, sir. That is my conclusion, sir. And these are the recommendations to go for organic cultivation. Further research on long-term health effects should be conducted.
Come to the conclusion slide. If you have concluding slide, you just show that slide.
Yes, sir. This is my conclusion slide, sir. Is it visible, sir?
You move the slides, sir. Slides are not moving. You come to the conclusion.
Sir,
you
I'm
conclude
moving,
your
sir.
experience.
Sir, I'm moving my slide.
Slides are not moving.
Sir,
You are still in treatment details.
Sir, it's moving in my laptop, sir.
Shashidhar, thank you for your presentation. Next, we'll call upon next speaker. Anburani is going to present on effect of foliar application of micronutrients on growth and yield of marigold. Cultivar, yellow bench, tall. Mr. Anburani.
So good morning, sir. Hello.
Yeah, show your slides.
Sir, actually, Dr. Anburani, professor and head Annamala University, she was busy with the dean's meeting. On behalf of her, I can go for presentation. A very brief explanation I can give.
Sir, please go ahead.
Upload your slides.
Sure, sir. So if my slides are visible?
No, not yet.
Yes, noted there.
So is that now?
No, not yet. So go to your file.
Thank you. Sir, slides are visible. Make it a presentation mode, please.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Slides are visible, sir. Please.
Yeah. Go to show mode, slide show mode. Yes.
Yes, sir. Perfect. Please go ahead, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, I can give a brief explanation just for a few minutes. So though ma'am was conducted this complete experiment, I'm just part of one among the part of this written a paper.
Please
so
stick on to time.
Yes,
Hello,
yes.
Please stick on to time. Complete
Yes,
within 5 minutes.
Fine, sir. So the present study was conducted on the effect of foliar application of micronutrients on growth and yield of marigold, that is a Tessetes erecta species. We took a yellow bench tall cultivar. So hereby, so we have taken different treatments as a micronutrients. So among that, before that we have cultivated means marigold with different treatments or macronutrients. So among the macronutrients, we have taken 75% of N and 100% of P, 75% of K, and nano N and nano K as the best treatment that has considered as control in the micronutrients. With the combination of this, you have considered different treatments, that is 9 treatments.
Sir, please go to the next slide, sir. You are not moving the slides.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So directly, I'll go for the result here. Here we can see the different treatments.
Okay.
9. Yeah.
So tell me which is the best combination?
Different observations we have taken. Among the treatment nine has shown the best one among all them, because the effect of this iron and zinc, nano zinc, it plays a very important role in the promoting the plant height. It was might be due to the role of zinc in active synthesis of tryptophan, because it's also amino acid is a precursor of indolacetic acid, which stimulates the growth of the plants. And also regarding the zinc, it is a harmonious effect. It shows absorption of phosphorus, which may be function as a source of the energy for synthesis of auxins. And also it could endorse stem elongation also. And while involves the involvement of iron, so it is also a kind of bioassay for the chlorophyll content, and it functions as catalytic and enzymatic activities, and it also involves in the process of metabolic processes, which helps in the increasing the growth of the plants. And in the association of iron with the chloroplast, it enhances the rate of photosynthesis. It leads to the better vegetative growth also. And so these are the overall experiment of field view. So though the treatment are similar for all, the treatment 9 showing the highest among all the parameters. So I can say that the treatment 9 is the best one, so that I can conclude. So from this present investigation, I can conclude that the foliar application of iron and zinc, a different concentration combination, and shown a different effect on the growth, flowering, and yield parameters of this marigold variety. And among this treatment 9, it performs the best of all the parameters. Thus, it combines the application of micronutrients, has a noticeable effect, and also it assesses with the individual use of micronutrients.
Please press the keys. Only conclusion word we are, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So this study delivers advantageous information about the foliar application with different treatment combinations of micronutrients, where soil has undesirable characteristics and chemical products in particular. Thank you, sir.
Okay, nice presentation, nice slides. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
If any clarification, please ask 1 or 2 questions immediately. Now the topic is open for discussion. Okay, next we'll move on to the speaker. Damodar Reddy is going to deliver on integrated pest management of Rogos spiraling whitefly in Gawa crop.
Hello, Dr. Tunamma Srikanth, Dr. Veena Joshi, Dr. Lakshmi Narayana. Hello. Okay. We will move to the next one. Okay. Okay, Dr. P. Damodar Reddy and Sujata. Dr. P. Damodar Reddy. Okay, we will move to the next talk. Shilpashri KG.
Yes, sir, I am present online.
Okay,
Shall I?
Okay,
Share
please upload your slides.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
start
sir.
and start presentation. Stick on to the time. Time is given to you just for 5 minutes.
Yes, sir, I will. Is my slides visible, sir?
Yes, madam,
Okay,
please.
visible. Go to the slide mode.
Is it on slide mode, sir? I have put it on slide mode.
Yes, madam, please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Sir. Reputed chair, respected chair, co-chair of the session and dignitaries, I would like to present my work on biostimulatory effect of seaweed extracts and halotolerant actinobacteria on germination of onion under salt stress. Soil salinization has become an important form of land degradation both worldwide and in India, and it has been reported that about 2.1% of our geographical area is under saline soils. Because of using saline irrigation water, about 17% of irrigated land in our country is facing secondary salinization problem. And in the absence of salt-tolerant varieties, plant biostimulants can be used to enhance the crop fitness under salinity stress along with other management practices. Onion has been classified as a sensitive crop for salinity and its irrigation water threshold is 1.6 DSM. As per Central Groundwater Board 2019, irrigation water EC of major onion growing areas of Maharashtra, Rajasthan and Karnataka is in the range of 2.2 DSM to more than 3.3 DSM. Many seaweed species have been documented for their biostimulatory activity, mainly because of the presence of bioactive compounds like phenolic compounds, phytohormones, etc. And in our study, we have used extracts of Sargassum vitae, which is a brown seaweed, and Kappa ficus alvarezi, which is a red seaweed, which both are available abundantly in our Indian coasts. And active compounds present in these seaweed extracts are reported to have reduced oxidative damage in the plants. And when we characterized the seaweed extracts of these two species, we found that they were rich in potassium content phytohormones like salicylic acid, IAA, IBA, and amino acids. And all these bioactive compounds have been reported to improve plant tolerance to salt stress. In another study, one of my co-authors screened many actinobacterial strains for salt tolerance, and we found that Streptomyces roseo-fulvus can tolerate about more than 6% sodium chloride concentration. And therefore, we used these two biostimulants. One is seaweed extract, which is a mixture of both the seaweeds, brown and red. Second is allo-tolerant microbial culture, cell-free and with cell culture. And third experiment, I have used a combination of these two. And onion seeds were soaked in biostimulants for 6 hours and kept for germination, and observations were noted down. I have used 4 different levels of salinity, including control, 4.5, 7.5, and 10.5 DSM. And results indicated that cell-free culture of Streptomyces roseo-fulvus resulted in significantly higher root length and seed germination percentage. And also importantly, a lower electrolyte leakage, which indicates the less oxidative damage to the cells was recorded, and also lower sodium to potassium ratio was also recorded. These are the photographs indicating the effect of cell-free and with cell culture of Streptomyces roseo-fulvus on onion seeds germination. And with respect to seaweed extract, soaking onion seeds in 1.1% and 0.8% seaweed extract resulted in better germination parameters and also higher potassium to sodium ratio. In these photographs, we can see the effect of both the seaweed extract and salinity on germination of onion seeds. And when we tested for combination of both the biostimulant, we found that 0.8% seaweed extract concentration along with cell-free culture resulted in better germination parameters, though they were not statistically significant, but significantly lower electrolyte leakage was recorded. And before taking the combination, we tested for the compatibility of seaweed extract and microbial culture and found that they are compatible. And 0.8% seaweed extract plus cell-free culture resulted in lower ionic ratios of sodium to potassium, sodium to calcium, sodium to magnesium, and also lower MDA, indicating a less oxidative damage. So with the result, I would conclude that positive effect of seaweed extract was and Streptomyces roseo-fulvus was observed on germination of onion under salt stress. And pre-soaking with 0.8% seaweed extract along with cell-free culture of Streptomyces roseo-fulvus resulted in better germination parameters. And it can be, and it proved the biostimulatory effect under salt stress. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam, for nice presentation and informative. Now the topic is open for discussion.
Thank you, sir.
1 or 2 questions, please, from the audience. If you don't have any questions, thank you, madam, for nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
One question, madam.
Yeah, please ask the question.
Yeah, you have told about the germination percentage is increased when you use the seed wheat. So whether you have tried in the main field, so after the germination, how it grows, or else you are preferring for the commercially viable for the farmers' needs?
Actually, my current presentation was only about germination experiment. I am taking it forward. I am conducting both pot experiment and also field experiment. I am yet to record the results. This is just preliminary.
Okay,
Hello, madam.
thank you.
You have taken on seaweed extracts, other combi like potassium humate, fulvic acid, amino acids, all these combis may give better results. Have you done something on these lines?
No, sir. I concentrated only on seaweed extract and microbial culture.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, if there are no questions, we will move on to the next speaker. That is Shyam S. Tampi. Shyam S. Tampi. On identification of SSR and ISSR markers. Yes, Tampi. Shyam S. Tampi. Okay, next. Okay. Yeah, please.
Respected dignitaries, on and off the dais, I am Dr. Sharada, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Vegetable Science from College of Agriculture, Vellani, Kerala Agriculture University. The topic for my presentation is identification of SSR and ISSR markers, identification of SSR and ISSR markers linked to downy mildew resistance in bitter gourd. As you all know, bitter gourd is an important commercial cucurbitaceous vegetable which is having high nutritional and medicinal properties. It is a rich source of thiamine, carotenoids, minerals, proteins, etc. And in Kerala, it occupies a prime position because of the favorable agroclimatic conditions, high demand, and also market value. The bitter gourd cultivators usually face a lot of diseases problems. Among the various diseases inflicting bitter gourd, downy mildew caused by Pseudopernospora cubensis is the most serious disease, which occurs mainly during the monsoon period, and it causes heavy economic loss. And when host strain studies were conducted, it was found that almost all the cucurbitaceous vegetables which were grown in the state were prone to this disease, and they were collateral hosts of this disease. So the issue was very serious. And usually the control measure adopted is use of fungicides. But as you all know, it is uneconomical, and also it produces environmental hazards. So the best approach is identification of resistant sources through artificial screening. So molecular markers provide indirect selection of the resistant sources. It will help to identify the resistant gene, and it can be further used for plant breeding. So with this objective, we conducted this study to identify molecular markers linked with downy mildew resistance in bitter gourd using bulk segregant analysis to enable marker-assisted selection. So this experiment was conducted at College of Agriculture, Vellani during 2021 to 23. Actually, in the initial part of the study, 50 genotypes of bitter gourd was collected from different parts of the country, and artificial inoculation was done. The most resistant genotype was identified, that was MC50, and the susceptible but high-yielding genotype, Priyanka, it was released in Kerala, bitter gourd. And Priyanka was used as the female parent, and MC50 was used as the male parent, and it was crossed to produce the F1 hybrid. And selfing was done to produce F2 progenies. And 149 in this study, 149 F2 progenies were sown, and artificial inoculation was done using the Pseudopernospora cubensis. Inoculation was done on 25 days old seedlings. Actually, the infected population in the field was identified and the sporangia was collected, and sporangia force at the rate of 1 × 10⁵ per ml was used for spraying, and it was covered with polythene cover for high humidity and temperature for about 48 hours. And after screening, we obtained 92 susceptible, 18 moderately susceptible, 14 moderately resistant, and 25 resistant F2 plants. And these are the pictures showing the response of the susceptible F2 plants after artificial inoculation. And these 25 plants were transplanted to the main field for the study of natural incidents without any plant protection measures. It was sown during June 2023. And these are the results of the study. From the table, you can see that out of the 25 plants, 2 F2 plants showed resistance with disease severity of less than 10%. See, these were the resistant plants. This was Priyanka was the female parent, MC50 was the male parent, and we got 2 resistant F2 plants from the study. And after that, bulk segregation analysis was carried out using 6 SSR and 14 ISSR primers. 8 resistant F2 plants, 8 susceptible F2 plants were used, and resistant F2 bulk and susceptible F2 bulk were produced. And this shows the SSR markers used. You can see that the SSR 3-5, it showed polymorphism in the resistant parent and the resistant bulk. See.
Madam, please conclude your presentation in one sentence.
Yes, sir. So this is the resistant plant. Then ISSR markers, ISSR 2 showed resistance. This is the bulk segregation analysis using ISSR 2. You can see 2 bands at 400 base pair and 1000 base pair. Single plant genotyping was also done. So to conclude, from this study, it was the first report of a co-dominant marker, that is SSR 3-5, linked to resistance, downy mildew resistance in bitter gourd. Also dominant marker, ISSR 2. So these 2 markers were identified from this study. And also we got 2 resistant F2 lines, which can be used for further crop improvement programs. So thank you.
Okay, the topic is open for discussion. If you have any doubts, please ask the questions. Thank you, madam. If there are no questions, please.
Yes.
Thank you, madam, for a nice presentation and very informative. Okay, next we'll move on to the next speaker, Dilpreet Kaur. Okay, is going to deliver on crop growth, water balance, and productivity of direct seeded and puddle transplanted rice cultivars in furrows, texturally different soils. Please, sir.
Myself, Dr. K.B. Singh is presenting the same. Actually, the rice is a major crop, particularly rice feed system in Punjab, and the water is the main constraint, particularly the rice is grown with the help of underground waters. So it is, next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. So particularly in Punjab areas, puddle transplanted rice, it consumes more water. That's particularly
more than 30% of the global fresh waters and 45% of the Asia's fresh water. So many alternative traditional systems has been there for the saving of water, particularly direct-seeded rice, then rice on the beds and unpuddled transplanted rice. And it has been reported that 35 to 57% water can be saved with the non-puddled traditional practices comparison to flooded conditions. The most suitable practices that is alternate wetting and drying. And after that alternate wetting and drying, there are some establishment method, particularly the red sowing, raised bed sowing, then suitable varieties. So we conducted the experiment with, so it's not, okay. With in the Department of Soil Science, TAU Ludhiana, and on the two texturally different soil, particularly farm machinery and power engineering departments, with combination of 4 planting methods or crop establishment method and 2 varieties. One is long duration variety and another is short duration varieties. And their combination was compared in RBD. Particularly the main treatment was budded flat transplanted rice. That is a major farmer practice as well as the recommended practices for the farmers. Then second is the unpuddled transplanted rice in the furrows. Then third one is the unpuddled flat direct-seeded rice. And the fourth one is unpuddled direct-seeded rice in furrows. And the 2 varieties, PR131 is a long duration variety and PR126 is a short duration variety. And their yields are comparable. They were tested in RBD, and it was observed that mostly the puddled transplanted rice and the unpuddled transplanted rice in furrows, they are giving the mostly same plant height, dry matter accumulation, leaf area index, and the grain yield. But as far as the DSR is concerned, they are having the lesser yield component, particularly plant height, dry matter accumulation, and lesser leaf area index in both these varieties. Particularly when you compare the varieties, the PR126 has slightly less smaller, that is tolerant varieties, taller varieties PR131. And the dry matter accumulation is also less in PR126. But when you comparing the transplanted as well as the DSR technology, the DSR has a yield penalty when you compare it with the puddled transplanted or unpuddled transplanted. But unpuddled transplanted yields, they are comparable with that of the puddled transplanted. Then you having the water management component, particularly the water balance components, the evapotranspiration losses, they are more in the long duration varieties compared to the short duration varieties. And the irrigation requirement, particularly when you compare the puddled system, it has a huge irrigation requirement. That is 127 centimeter irrigation is required in comparison to the unpuddled transplanted, which are having 71 centimeter water requirements. It means substantial reduction in the irrigation requirement. And particularly the unproductive water losses are the drainage component. In case of puddled transplanted rice, the most of the unprotected water losses are the drainage component. So more water get drained. And when more irrigation, more drainage is there. So for that, we used to have some direct-seeded rice. If you compare the water requirement in the case of direct-seeded rice, it is less. But as the yield penalty is there. But if you compare the water use efficiency, it is highly more in the furrow irrigated direct-seeded rice compared to the unpuddled transplanted rice. But as far as our recommendation or the conclusions, though it has a higher water use efficiency, but it has a yield penalty. If you compare
Please, time is over. Please conclude your.
If you compare the evapotranspiration losses and the grain yield, the more the ET losses there or the effective losses, the consumptive juice, more is the grain yield. So at the last, we conclude that the direct seeded rice in furrows and flat, it has most water use or water efficient production, but with the yield penalty of the 12 to 17%. And in case of unpolluted transplant rice, it has 40 to 45% water saving with no yield penalty. So for selecting the establishment methods, in a heavy textured soil, particularly DSR is more preferable in comparison to the other. But as far the variety is concerned, you have to go for short duration variety, which saves 5 to 10% higher water use efficiency as compared to long duration varieties. Thank you.
Nice presentation, sir. Now the topic is open for discussion. Since it is on rice, you can ask the questions. If there are no more questions, we will move on to the next presenter.
Thank you, sir. Okay, next we will move on to the speaker, lead speaker. Dr. Leonetti is going to present on plant phytoparasitic nematodes interactions. Please, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Paula. PAO. Dr. Paula, are you online? Same link. Where link? Then share ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ link ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ಬಿಲ್ ಅದ ಸೈಗಿರಿ ಬಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಿಟ್ರಿ ಮತ್ತೀಗ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ರಿ ಅವೇ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಗೆ
LEO ಗಿರೀಶ್ LEO no. I think somebody has talked.
Madam, please share your slides.
Dr. Paula, can you please share your slides? She's not out.
Okay, she has to connect from Italy.
She's online. She's seeing the conference. This is the link she has joined. Okay, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಕಳಿಸಿ ಅವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕೊಡಿ ಬೇರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ
ಅವ್ರು ಜಾನ್ಸಿ Okay, RBI. Okay, next speaker, Renuka Hirekurubar on evaluation of different pest management modules against bean. Renuka Hirekurubar. Okay. Madam, time given is just 5 minutes. You have to complete all your presentation within 5 minutes.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Myself, Renuka. I'm here to present on the research topic, evaluation of different pest management modules against pest complex of Indian bean. Indian bean is known for vegetable purpose since it contains about 20 to 28% of protein, but it is infested with huge number of insects, more than 30 insects. Among them, sucking pest, aphids, and fruit borer complex causes severe loss. About 80 to 100% yield loss is noticed due to fruit borer complex. So, to overcome the yield loss, these are the insects which are infesting. To overcome those, different modules have been designed. Two treatments, first two treatments are for the management of sucking pest, and next two treatments are for the management of fruit borer complex. Here we can see first module is bio-intensive module, next is chemical intensive, and third is IPM module, and fourth is our package of practice. According to that, chemicals have been used here, and fifth is untreated control. These chemicals mainly in the IPM module as well as chemi-intensive module, they are already recommended for the other vegetable crops, and they have been regarded as a safer insecticides and green labeled insecticides. Mainly in IPM module, the chemicals used. So with respect to the aphid population, or as I told you, sucking pests arise at the early season of the crop, early crop growth period. So after two sprays, we can see in the chemi-intensive module, of course, less number of aphids, that is 0.45. And in IPM module, about 4.64% after two sprays. And with respect to the pod borer complex, actually this management is very difficult because huge number of pod borers are infesting. Managing these pod borer complex with spraying of spinosad followed by imamectin benzoate during the fruiting season. So we could see here mean pod borer percent in chemi-intensive model, that is 7.11, and followed by in the IPM 9.92. And the first module, that is bioagents, mainly bioagents, biopesticides are being used that could bring down the percent pod damage up to 50.80%. But here we can see with chemicals, we could control the pest about 80.02% pod damage, followed by IPM package, that is module, which can control about 72.13% over control. So here we can use two modules, chemi-intensive as well as IPM modules, because here with respect to the yield parameters, we can see in, of course, in chemical method, 14.37% in yield, and it is about a 44.45% increase in yield over control, followed by IPM package, IPM module, that is 34.70% increase in yield over control. With respect to BC ratio, also chemi-intensive module 4.01 and 3.67 in IPM module.
Madam, please summarize your results.
By this, I can conclude that, of course, chemi-intensive module is very good in controlling the pest load, but with respect to IPM module, I propose for the IPM module, because here we can see the management tactics. Those are botanicals and green labeled insecticides. So as an alternative method to the chemicals, reduce the pesticide load, we can go with the IPM model, since we can see the large number of predators also in the IPM model. Thank you, Warden.
Okay.
Thank you.
Topic is open for discussion. If there are no more questions, we will move on to the next speaker.
Thank you.
Manjunath Hubbar. Okay.
Hello, Dr. Paula, please share your slides. Please unmute and unmute yourself. Yes, yes. Please share your slides now.
Good morning.
Yes.
Could you see
Yes,
my presentation?
Yes.
Okay.
1 second, Paula.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to introduce Dr. Paula Leonetti, senior researcher at the Institute for Sustainable Plant Protection, Bari, Italy. Dr. Paula obtained her bachelor's degree in biological sciences in 1994 at the University of Bari, and later she obtained her master's specialized in biochemistry and clinical chemistry from University of Bari. And later she joined German Cancer Research Institute, Heidelberg, Germany, for 1 year working as the DHEA hormone and their effect on cellular aging mechanisms. Since 2001, she is working as a researcher at the Italian National Research Council in the Department of Biology, Agriculture, Food Science, at the Institute of Sustainable Plant Protection at Bari. Since from 2006 to 2008, she was involved in Bioinformatic Consortium for manual annotation of genome of Melodogene incognita, and participated in the training course for the tools for the expert manual annotation of incognita genome at France. And her publications, her research has been published in Nature Biotechnology journal with the title Genome Sequence of Metazoan Plant Parasitic Nematode Melodogene incognita. She has published over 100 research articles in very high impact factor journals. Her expertise is on plant pathogen interaction, specifically biological control and epigenetics. She works on interaction of host organisms, ambient biology and functional genomics, in particular pathogen host interaction. And she works from stereoscopic observation to NGS techniques for the strategies for sustainable management of phytonematode. Today, she will be talking on plant phytoparasitic nematode interaction, an overview under the in this conference. Over to you, Dr. Paula. So you will have 15 minutes to speak, and our chairman will be alarming you with a bell. Please go ahead, Paula.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank Dr. Balji Kulkarni, Dean, the organizing secretary of the conference, and you, my dear Raghu, that were really my welcome guests in Italy. I am a researcher in the Institute of Sustainable Plant Protection of CNR of Italy, and I would like about plant nematode interaction and overview why. I would speak about this because the study of interaction between plants and pathogenic organisms are very important from three main reasons. First of all, because a detailed study of plant microbial interaction should provide sustainable practical solution for the control of plant disease in agricultural crops. Second one is because such studies should help to elucidate the signaling mechanism by which plant cells cope with the biotic or biotic stress situation, and because study of plant pathogen interaction can lead us to discover how organisms from different kingdoms communicate each other. We know very well that plants must continuously defend themselves against attack from bacteria, fungi, invertebrate, and even sometimes from the attacks of other plants. And because of their immobility, which preclude escape, each plant cell possesses both a performant and inducible defense capacity. What about nematodes? Nematodes are invertebrate roundworms, are the most numerous multicellular animals on Earth, second just to insects in the number of described species, and it's estimated that only about 3% of all nematode species have been identified in studies. So there is a large field in which the researcher could put their work and their ideas. The model organism, the well-known nematodes, is for sure Xenorhabditis elegans, and here the science paper in which the sequence of this nematode was published. Xenorhabditis elegans is like a transparent windows into biology. I'd like to see for you this warm book. This is the Bible for nematologists, and you can find here all the information that you need, not only for Xenorhabditis elegans, but also for other nematodes. This is a genetic model for understanding question of developmental biology and also neurobiology. And why this is so important? Because we can study the basic function of interaction of eukaryotic cell, host parasites interaction, and also evolution. C. elegans has also become an important organism in which to study processes that go through human disease. And it's a very wonderful experimental system for small size, rapid life cycle, so we can adopt protocol in the not long time. Transparency, that is very important to see what's going on in the nematode, and well-noted genome. Otherwise, this is used not only for forward genetics, but also for reverse genetics. So we could have news about the entire organism, but also at the level of single identified cells. Observing C. elegans, just to show you how we can use this nematode under the microscope objective, Petri dish, setting on the base of, in this case, the setting stereo microscope, and we can see the bacterial laws in the surface of agar inside the wishes. And C. elegans are too small to be seen in this view, but we can see all the stadium of these nematodes here, larvae, embryos, and adults here. And we can also see here an adult hermaphrodite in compound microscope. Because the animals are transparent, from left to the right, we can see the ventral side, the developing oocytes in the gonad, and the spermatheca here, followed by multiple embryos in the uterus. Why we can use this? Also because many techniques could be adopted. For example, this wonderful image of the fluorescent using of GFP reporter with the nervous system labeled in this picture. But I will speak today about phytoparasitic nematodes. Here, line drawing of some major genera of phytoparasitic nematodes with relative size and shapes. We go from Longidorus, so we can see here, this is of course the micrometer, and the Paratylenchus here. On the left, genera that remain worm-shaped, so vermiform in all life stage. And we can see here, for example, the Xiphinema, that is very important nematode because it's also a vector of viruses. But there are other nematodes, other genera that can have also in the reproductive adult life stage, the genera swollen piriform, and we can see here, for example, Melodogyna, Melododera, Heterodera, and Globodera. So we can recognize also different stadium in the cell life of the phytoparasitic nematodes. The damage are well known, could be in all the world. We can see here the place in which the nematodes are in the field, and at least 10 phytonematodes damage the crops and have been found to be responsible for quantitative and qualitative yield loss all over the world. I have taken just this information. In India, the national loss due to the plant parasitic nematodes in 24 different crops is very, very relevant in monetary terms. Now, the current nematodes control approach goes from the application of nematicides to crop rotation to introduction of natural resistance traits by conventional breedings or by biotechnologies. But it's well known that nematode biotypes that are that can break resistance are emerging everywhere. So our studies are very useful. One slide to show you what's going on in laboratory for extracts nematode, and we can extract them from soil and also from the roots of the plants in which they are. Here are different way to go with small sites. They are here in this part in water. We can count them in this chamber to have the number that parasites the plants or are present in soil for rat knot nematode. For other nematode, we can use other apparatus like this one for cyst nematodes. They stay on the filter and we can observe them on stereo microscope. In the top 10 plant parasitic nematodes, the most important ones are root knot and cyst nematodes. I will speak about these two groups. At the end of the story, the nematologists have used to recognize the nematode, the taxonomic key. For example, anterior region or perennial pattern. In this two picture, I have chosen Melodogyna habla from white clover. But with the molecular biology technique, it becomes more and more simple to recognize and have a good resolution of the biotypes of nematode. There were many specific primers that can be used to identify the nematode. Some picture to show you, for example, males of Heterodera daverti. These are from white clover. Detail of cyst morphology, because also the cysts were used to recognize the genre of the nematode. For example, vulval cone shown here, or bridge, or bulba, or vulval cone here with electron microscopy. So many techniques were helpful for us in distinguish and characterize in the better way the taxonomic scheme. For example, some details of the juvenile infective larva in this picture. Many papers were done, and our institute was really important in this literature, and I just reported for you one on Heterodera daverti from Trifoli and published on European Journal of Plant Pathology. Cyst nematodes have been found in temperate regions, infecting potatoes, winter cereal, and also in warm regions, infecting major crops like sugar cane or rice. The ones that I show you before with lemon shepherd cyst are the heterodera species, and with the round cysts we can recognize globodera species that could parasite many crops. For example, beets, cereal, potato. We have two nematodes for potato, Globodera pallida and Globodera rostochiensis, soybean, the Heterodera glycines, or tabacum, Globodera tabacum. I reported here an example for the cell life cycle. We can start for the cyst, in which there are the eggs, from which came out the larvae that became infected. This is the female, and the cycle can start again. We can see what's going on with cysts when we collect them, or in nature on the roots in different stadium of maturation. We can see more white, yellow, and brown. Root knot nematodes are the Ditilancus, and particularly are very harmful the Melodogyna species, which includes Melodogyna arenaria, Melodogyna habla, Melodogyna javanica, and Melodogyna incognita. They are very harmful pests in both tropical and subtropical crop productive regions. We can see here a control you can see here the roots is very nice, and here we have roots in which the nematodes are inside, and it becomes not so functional for the plants. You can observe here the same. We can see here the gall, and here better imaging to show you the classical symptoms of this heavy root galling that give the names to this group of nematode just in the area of infection. What about Melodogyna incognita cell cycle? We can start in this description from the infective second stage juvenile that are here. They can reach the plants with the induction by some secretion that are in the stellate. With this stellate, the juveniles enter in the apex of the root. They can have intercellular migration and reach a place in which they form the feeding sites. The feeding sites is the ones that enlarge and create the Zarian cell by this young female that I hope you can see here. After when the female became mature, they can produce egg masses that are conserved and protected in gelatinous masses. We have other stadium, G3, G4, and also the male. How Raghu has just told to you, I participate at the sequencing of these for the first time phytonematode, and so many information are reached from this publication in Nature Biotechnology. And we start to understand more about nematode plant interaction system. One slide to remember to this honor assembly, the attack strategy. Pathogen could have necrotrophy strategies in which the plant cells are killed. They can be biotrophy, and the plant cells...
Hello, madam. Please, time is over. Please speed up the presentation, madam. Time is over.
Okay. So I will just show you another one if I can. Oh. So there are many strategies, and we can use for sure biocontrol with study of the defense response to this nematode, the systemic acquired resistance, the use of fungi, and some secondary metabolites and essential oils from which we can have this extract. And very important is also to use, for example, municipal green waste, that are some composted municipal waste that can be added with the biocontrol agents to control better and also in a very better use of this bad waste, also the phytoparasitic nematode. And it's very important the use of RNA biology. I would like to leave you these two papers in which I have tried to explore what's going on if we use RNA biology. We have used the Melodogyna incognita infective juveniles. We have designed some RNA molecules that will be found useful to cleave some genes in the nematode. The larvae soaked the Myrna, and we infected the plants of tomato in a petri dish. We observed decrease in the level of the Melodogyna incognita target gene chosen, and a decrease in the level of Melodogyna incognita system of infection. We can see here from the plants.
Madam, please, hello, madam. Please conclude the presentation, madam.
Okay, so I will be happy to respond if you have some question reading my papers. I was thinking that the time was more long in my idea, I'm sorry. And so really I would like to thanks everybody, and you were welcome in Italy, and very greetings for my colleagues, particularly to Antonello Pantaleo, Sergio Molinari, Anca Macovei, and Nico Vlovlas, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for your nice presentation. Now the topic is open for any doubts. Please interact. Okay. Thank you, madam.
Thank you,
Thank you
Dr.
so
Pola,
much.
for your insightful talk and beautiful pictures. It was really wonderful. Sorry for the shortage of time, so we have to move ahead. Thank you. Thanks once again.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, the next lead speaker.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. So, respected audience, those who have presentation in theme number 9, that is smart skills in hearty entrepreneurship. So, kindly move on to DOE office, Directorate of Education Office, Conference Hall. So, the session will start at 1 o'clock. It was supposed to be here because this session is being dragged. So, the alternate arrangement has been made at Directorate of Education, which is in the main building. So those who have oral presentation in the theme number 9 are requested to move to Directorate of Education, Conference Hall. The session will start by 1 o'clock sharply. Thank you. Sir.
Okay, Dr. Kurbar, sir. Professor and Head Department of Horticulture, US Raichur, is supposed to present on recent advances in organic cultivation of fruit crops. Kurbar, sir.
Yeah. I am audible, everybody?
Yeah, audible, sir, audible. Okay. Nice to see you on screen, sir.
Yeah. Whether I seen my photo is seen? Can you see me? Okay.
Slides are, okay.
Okay,
Start.
thank you. Yeah. Good afternoon to everybody. First of all, I ask, excuse me for making you all inconvenient because I'm not in right time on my presentation due to some my unavoidable meeting at my office. Anyway, I thank the organizers giving me this opportunity to present, to share my knowledge in recent advances in organic cultivation of the fruit crops. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, sir. Please
Yeah.
go ahead, sir.
Yeah,
Audible.
respected chairman, co-chairman, and rapporteurs, and my dear participant, I'm going to speak on recent advances in organic cultivation of the fruit crops. As you all know that the post-independence India, we have given much importance for the to accelerate the food grain production in order to meet out the shortfall of the food grains. For that, we initiated green revolution to achieve the food grain sufficiency by involving these tools like high-yielding varieties, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides, herbicide, and irrigation. As a result of this tool of a green revolution, we enable to rise our production and productivity to lead the self-sufficiency. As a result, now we have passed the food security bill in our parliament, which is the first country in the world where we have said that we have achieved the food security. No doubt, green revolution made a tremendous change in the modern agriculture, but it has given some negative negative consequences for the high input agriculture. Yes, definitely negative effect because of these are the point what I shown here in the slide. It clearly explains that these are the point which have the impact on the several aspects of the in the agriculture sector. As a result, now we thought that why there is a need to have find some alternative agriculture system to where we can take care of the negative impact of the green revolution. Among the different the programs what we launched in India, see, organic farming is the one which now much people are talking about as an alternative agriculture system to bring the soil health and human health in good conditions. Okay, as you know that now we are talking about the nutritional security. Yes, no doubt, nutritional security is only possible through the agricultural crops, horticulture crops. Now we have given much importance for horticulture crops. Yes, nutritional security can be directly influence on the food security that will be included the dietary quality as well as the equality. So among as you look at the slides, we achieved a lot of the miles in the organic production in some of the products like fiber, then fruits and dry fruits and coffee. These are some indication where we achieved, but not at the self-sufficiency. But till the long way to go to find out the alternatives. Yes, out of the many states are now practicing the organic farming with their state and central government the support, but till they reach up to the mark. Now we also now launched the natural farming mission, which is a part of the organic farming in order to take care of the green revolution, what we have the negative consequences. And we all know that India have that 62% of the crop area in rain feed. Use of fertilizers and other agrochemicals are very little or no use in the dryland area because of the poor resources and also small holding of the farmers. And also initially, no organic farming, what we 4 decades, the green revolution. Afterwards, the initial, when we thought of the organic farming, initially organic farming was educated in rainfed area because of the less usage or little usage of the fertilizers and agrochemical and also. And of course, there's no doubt we cannot do the organic farming initially in all the crops, but we selected some of the fruit crops in rainfed area where we can see that as if they are the organic cultivated crop, like ber, amla, custard apple, tamarind, guava, jamun, fig, and pomegranate, some of the minor fruits where we are given much importance in organic farming, where we can show the results or to supply the fruits to the consumers with a high price. As a result, of course, there no doubt, as we all agree that the organic farm, the organic cultivated produce have the low yield, no doubt in it, but it takes more time to stabilize the yield. But with respect to the quality is very, very high. Low yield, but quality is very high, so that with the high quality, we can achieve the high price in the market. Yes, of course, as you know that there are a lot of scope to do the organic farming in fruit crops, but so far we have done very limited research which are carried out in the organic farming concept in the fruit crops. Since for 2 decades, there is emerging the organic farming we have seen throughout the country, in not only in the fruit crops, even in vegetable crops, and also some of the plantation and spices. And when you look at the concept of the organic farming, yes, a lot of definitions available as per the USDA 1980. Yeah, the organic farming is nothing but production without using any synthetic chemicals. Yes, now as we all know that exclude of what compound fertilizers, pesticides, growth regulators, and livestock feed additives. These are the part of the modern agriculture that has to be excluded in the organic farming. Then what the organic farming rely upon? These are the points what I shown in my slide is clearly explains that organic farming depends on this crop rotation, crop residues, animal manures, legume, green manures, off-farming organic waste, mechanical cultivation, mineral-bearing rocks, then biological pest and control. And what do you mean that? One thing you have to remember in organic farming or in agriculture, preventive measures are more important than the curing measures. So we can prevent rather than curing the problems. Okay. Next, then what are the important components of organic farming? As you all know, there are a large number of organic sources for the nutrition, we know it. But most important one are green manuring, composting, biofertilizers, organic cakes, vermicomposting, among the different components of the organic farm. But as you all know, we are using biofertilizers currently available in a very cheaper rate, and they are the safe for the using as compared to the conventional chemical fertilizers. Now, since from last 1 decade, we have seen the farmers are coming forward to use the one or other way these biofertilizers for the pest management, even for the production and productivity. And you all know that biofertilizers are the bacterial cultures which are now supplies the different nutrients by using different organisms. Then what is the concept of the organic farming? Yes, as you all know that sustainability is of the health, soil health is very, very important. Today morning, we all heard that the soil health management today, the keynote speaker has given clear-cut indication how to manage the soil health. And not only manage the soil health, you have to bring it in a sustainability. And effective soil moisture conservation. Yes, as I told you, there are the rain-feed crops are the major stress is soil moisture. And today you know that most important costly input in any of the agriculture is the water. That is soil moisture conservation is very, very important. And improvement of the soil quality, self-life of the produce. These are the prospect of the farming. And effective land use through the utilization of the interspace. As you all know, the most of the perennial crops which are having wider space, that interspace can be used to grow some of the intercrops which are green manuring and leguminous crops which will enrich the soil health. So bring the dependence on the chemical fertilizers. And also, we know that due to this the modern agriculture, due to the indiscriminate use of the chemicals and fertilizers, it brought the environmental hazardness. So there is a need to improve the environmental health. That means the pollution can be minimized, and also there is a need to connect with the human health, who are the consumers. There is a need to improve the human health by eating the chemical-free the produce or fruits and vegetables, the food grains. So for that, we can increase the farm income through and one more thing I'll know that there is a lot of scope to export the organically produced produce, for that we can earn a lot of the foreign exchange, and also we can not only the foreign exchange, we can also, there is a lot of awareness in elite people where they want to consume a lot of the organic produce. The produce, for that there is a lot of domestic market. Then, and ultimately you all know that there is a lot of migration of the people, the rural people toward the urban for the job, in order to or for the employment, in order to if we brought the more and more area under the organic farming, especially the perennial fruit crops, which are the intentionally cultivated, and the employment can be generated throughout the year, 365 days because of that. And there is one thing you have to remember in organic farming: whatever the available on farm has to be recycled, and also the main concept is minimize the use of the farm inputs, not to bring any inputs from the outside, make use whatever the available in your farm. That is the concept in organic farming. Yes, these are the more important principle. Everybody knows it. I'm not highlighting the new one. Yes, use of the organic manures to maintain the soil fertility, which is the most important. Use of the biofertilizers, both for the biotic and abiotic stress. Use of biological controls for the control of the pest and disease. Use of the resistant variants, which is the most important one. And also now we are talking about the era of the new breeding techniques, for which now we are using these techniques to develop the resistant variety for both biotic and abiotic stress. Then better soil management practices like solarization, no cost is involved in that. Mulching on farm, whatever the plant residues available on the farm, and covering crop, intercropping, crop rotation, which are and use of the pheromones. These are the need of the hours where we can minimize the dependence on the chemicals. For getting success in the organic farming, yes, all of you know that there is a need to pool whatever our forefathers followed or practiced in conventional agriculture. That indigenous knowledge, whatever available, has to be documented and is to be made available to all the farmers across the country, so that they can practice in the day-to-day farming activities, so that they can produce safe horticultural produce. Then the new organic farming technology, yes, there is a need to use a lot of the modern tools in order to incorporate in organic farming activities. Today morning we told artificial intelligence is one that comes under preventive measures, so that you can involve that artificial intelligence in the organic farming technology, so that we can prevent the usage of the indiscriminate use of the fertilizers and chemicals. Yes, we can concentrate efforts have to made by the scientists, not only scientists, even planners, and also persons who are involved in the development of the horticulture. More than that, the extension agencies of both the public and private people has to come forward to make available the technologies what we can practice in organic farming to the farmers, so that they can make use in their organic farming. Yes, what is impact? Yes, I told you there are several ways. But yes, we can manage the.
Sir.
Okay.
Sir, time is over, sir. Please.
Yeah. Okay. 2 minutes. Can I complete within 2 minutes?
Yeah. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
These are the impact of the organic farming, waste fertilization. Yes, we know there are different sources available where we can use as a organic source for the nutrient requirement of any crop, especially perennial crops. Yes, definitely we can practice this. Then these are cropping system. Yes, we can use cropping system. Only thing what is important, whenever you are selecting the intercrop, you have to be very careful while because most of the intercrops, they act as an alternative host for some of the pathogens. So we have to be very careful, and the farmers need to have the knowledge about the intercropping, which is supposed to be a companion symbiotic relation with the main crop. Yes, these are some intercrops where
Sir, conclude your presentation, sir.
Yeah. So these are some research findings we can see on the slides, which are very much clearly indicate that organic, yes, definitely it will go on for is better than the chemical fertilizers. These are some of the outputs. You can see the organic manures are better than urea. Yes, here I can see also the chemical fertilizers. which are inferior than the organic, the amendments which are giving yield and quality can be improved over the chemical fertilizers. And these are the some the in situ water harvesting mulches we can use. So better way to conserve the water and use for the improve the quality of the some of the fruit crops. Yeah, and these are the some of the bioagents we can use to management of the some serious problems in the some of the perennial fruit crops, which can be used very commercial way. And these are the some of the information available and how the organic management will improve the fruit yield and quality of the some of the perennials and tropical and subtropical and temperate fruits. Okay, this also again continuation of the earlier. Again they are done with the specific varieties. Just these are the way we can improve genetic improvement, technological innovations. Yes, these are the weakness of the organic farming. Yes, it now initial yield and gap. Yes, we can manage. Only thing is you have to have the patience for a few years. Then yield will be stabilized. What are the strength I given you? Yes, you can make use of the strength in organic farming. The information available in large scale. Okay, these are the agencies involved in the certification. As these are the some of the successive organic food farmers available. With this, I can conclude my presentation. I hope the recent advance in fruit crops is the still lot way to go to do the research and make available to the farmers for the commercial cultivation. It's a responsibility to the universities and also the government, the planners and also policymakers and the extension agency to make the success in organic farming in fruit crops.
Thank you, sir, for good presentation. Now the topic is open for discussion.
Your last sentence is eye-catching, sir. Eating organic food is not a trend, but it is a return to the tradition.
Yes, going to organic farming is nothing but not to go back to the traditional 100 years back, what our forefathers are following. Just you practice it, that's all. No need to go 100% what our forefathers practicing it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You blunt it.
So the topic is open for discussion to the audience. So nice presentation, sir. Thank you so much for your
thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for organizers giving me opportunity. I'm sorry, please excuse me. I'm a part of the Horticulture University. I missed it coming over there because of the meeting here in the 2 days and some other urgent work. Sorry so much. Please excuse me, organizers.
Okay, sir. It's all right, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
So the next oral presentation is by Uday and Pawan on from toxicity to sustainability. Uday and Pawan. Please upload your PPT.
Okay.
Restrict your presentation to the stipulated time.
Uday. Hey, Uday.
Sir, I'm here, sir.
Yes, please upload your PPT.
Uday.
Sir, I'm here, sir. I'm the one presenting here, sir. Shall I proceed, sir? Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Uday. I'm a PhD scholar from the College of Horticulture, Bagalkot. I'm here to present about the toxicity and sustainability of harnessing Nerium oleander as a sustainable biocide solution in the management of pest and disease for organic farming. So, Nerium oleander is from Apocynaceae family, having chromosome number 22. It is only species classified under genus Nerium. It is commonly called as oleander because of its resemblance towards olive and olea. It is mainly used for ornamental use as a avenue plant and for a dust repellent plant. It has so many medicinal properties in it. It has been used in a pharmaceutical industry since from old age. So these are all the important essential oils that are present in the nerium, like amorphin, nerolin, digitoxygen. So these are the essential oils that are present in the nerium. Composites around 35%. These are responsible for inhibiting the major microorganisms that are causing a pest and disease effect in major horticulture crops. So these are some of the compounds that are present in the leaf extract of the nerium. So these are all metabolites that are responsible for inhibiting the microorganisms growth in horticulture crops. So first we look into the major functions of the secondary metabolites. Secondary metabolites are been functioning as a stress managing factors in plants. They are mainly managing pest and disease and drought tolerance in plants. So these are being extracted towards distillation or extraction process. This is how the dry and liquid or paste extract are being used for various purposes. Mainly, the interested chemical is identified, which is extracted with one of the fluid or a solvent. So this extracted secondary metabolite is used in controlling various pest and disease. In major plants, the disease is being caused by fungi, viruses, and bacteria, nematodes, and phytoplasmas. So these are the one of the major organisms that are responsible for causing diseases in plants. Based on this, Alurpa in 2014 has conducted an experiment by extracting the oosporin that is produced from the endophytic organism as an endophytic organism in Nerium oleander. So he isolated the endophytic fungi and he induced that endophytic fungi for controlling the major microorganisms, that is Streptococcus and Bacillus, Pseudomonas, so like this. So it has found to be the methanolic extract of the nerium has found to be inhibiting the microbial growth in a zone. Like you can see here, the Bacillus cereus has been reduced by 17.3 mm, and here in Pseudomonas aerogensis is being reduced by 15.67 mm. Like this, this is the A is the experimental one and B is the control one. So here the nerium extract is used in A plate and B plate is control one. So the inhibition effect has been reviewed here. So this is the preparatory RP-HPLC spectrum for the presence of oosporin in oleander extract. This is the structure of a oosporin over TP diagram. So this is responsible in reducing the microbial growth in various plant diseases. This is also found to be very much effective in with a percentage of interest. It can be like 98% with a methanolic extract. It's reduced the growth of a Streptococcus aureus and by 94% in Solemnella species. So this oosporin that is present in the nerium plant has found to be a bioactive compound, can be a substitute for a chemical we are using for controlling various bacterial diseases. And another one, Kamal in 2020 has conducted an experiment by inducing the resistance in bacterial spot by tomato plants of a sustainable system. So he extracted aqueous and ethanol extract of fresh leaves of a Nerium oleander and eucalyptus species. So he conducted experiment by spraying it on. So the antibacterial activity of a Nerium has found to be very much effective compared to the other control and eucalyptus. So the Nerium extract of ethanol is found to be very much effective.
Uday,
sir,
your time is over.
Yes, sir. I will
directly conclude your experiment.
Yes, sir. So these are all not only plants, also in humans, the Nerium extract have been used for antibiotic, anti-HIV, neuroprotective, anti-cancerous, and antioxidant. So in conclusion, so Nerium plant not only as a ornamental plant, it can also be as a biocide for various pest, disease, and viruses, vector killing plant in a horticulture crop. So this versatile crop can be used for both ornamental and biocide in a horticulture. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Uday. Nice presentation, nice slides, photographs, everything is fine. So the topic is open for discussion.
Yes, sir.
To sustainability, can
Yes,
you
sir.
substantiate?
Sir, yes, sir. Nerium plant is known for its toxicity, sir. Some of the literatures have shown that by consuming Nerium leaves, some person have been died due to toxicity presence in Nerium, that is due to digitoxygenin and nerin, sir. So that toxic chemical compound can be used as a substitute for a chemical, sir, in controlling pest and disease, sir. So from toxicity, Nerium plant as a toxic plant, it is bringing to the light room as a sustainable use of as a plant biocide, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Uday.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for your nice presentation. So next, I call upon the next speaker, Manjunath Hubbali, on fungicide tolerant bacteria for early blight diseases of tomato.
Good afternoon to all, respected chair and co-chairman and participants. I would like to present on fungicide tolerant plane bacteria for the early blight disease management in case of tomato. So tomato is one important crop, and diseases are the major threats in the tomato production that we all know. And that too, in particular, early blight and late blight are the two serious diseases drastically reducing the tomato yield. So there are, in the literature, there are so many species of Alternaria associated with the tomato early blight and causing yield loss of significant yield loss. Okay, in the study, we collected 10 isolates of Alternaria representing different parts of the state. So the important thing is we could isolate a species which is not reported earlier. Okay, so that is Alternaria longips. It was a new report from the major growing belt, that is Ranebennur and Haveri area. We confirmed through molecular sequencing both morphological and molecular characters were taken into consideration to consider, and that was deposited in the gene bank. Phylogenetic tree was constructed, and it was identified as a new species infecting tomato. The coach postulates were proved for proving the pathogenicity of the new pathogen that we isolated. And in order to manage the disease, the systemic contact fungicides as well as combi fungicides were screened. Among systemic, the propiconazole was found to be better in arresting the growth in vitro. And among contact, propionib was, as well as the copper oxychloride, 50% WP was found to be effective in arresting the growth of the pathogen under in vitro conditions. And in combi product, we could find out two pathogens, that is Zinab and hexaconazole combination, as well as glucose plus pyraclostrobin. The was found to be better in arresting the growth. And in continuation, as a part of organic management practice, we could also isolate 28 different pillow plane bacteria from the tomato leaf spear, and we could test their antifungal activity under in vitro condition. And 3 different species, that is Bacillus, Pseudomonas, and Methylobacteria were identified from the pillow plane surface. Based on the compatibility, we could select only PS4 and BA, that is Bacillus and Pseudomonas were selected for the field evaluation, and among the different treatment fixed in the field evaluation. So the foliar application of Bacillus species, that is BA1 at 10 gram per liter, coupled with the Zinab, was found to be better in reducing the disease incidence. And further, yield was also increased in the same treatment, and the residue analysis was found there was no residue in the propiconazole that we used at different days interval, and dissipation was also studied. Within 10 days, the 90% of the residue that is accumulated in the leaf as well as fruit was found to be dissipating. And based on the cost economics, it was the treatment 10 that could give 2.5, 1 is to 2.51 ratio of BC ratio. And the effective bacteria was identified as Micrococcus luteus as well as Bacillus veligensis through molecular. And it was also subjected for whether that, since it is an pillow-plane bacteria, whether it is going to colonize the root as well as leaf surface or not. That was our interest of study. Through confocal microscopy, we could characterize the bacteria that is delivered is going to colonize the roots as well as the leaf surface. And it is also found to have the growth promotional activity as depicted in the figure 2 bacteria. So both root length and shoot lengths were increased. And further, the defense activity of the enzymes was also studied due to application of these, the newly isolated bioagent. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Manjunath, for your nice presentation and completed in a stipulated time. So the topic is open for discussion. Since early blight is a serious disease on tomato.
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Manjunath. So next presenter, Dr. C. Satyanarayana on assessment of ginger genotypes against rhizome fly and its management.
Respected chairman, co-chairman, and rapporteurs, and my dear friends. So the assessment of the ginger genotypes against the rhizome fly, Mammigerella cerulifrons, is and its management is the topic that I'm going to do the presentation on. And this particular topic has been, it basically comprises two different the segments. One is to see that how exactly the different genotypes of the ginger actually they react to the rhizome fly onslaught. And the second one is to figure out which is the most appropriate management tactics. So that's how they for convenience, like this has been divided into two different segments. Next one. So now the very fundamental question as to why this particular topic is only because they unite very well. Why this particular the insect only unite very well, like ginger, which is technically otherwise known as gingiber officinale, is the most indispensable the part of the Indian food, and not only in the Indian food, but in fact it is the part of the food across the globe. So in India, during the year 2023, a staggering total of 22.01 lakh tons of total ginger has been reported to be produced in the 1.91 lakh hectares of area. So having said that, it is not easy to cultivate this particular crop because there are a number of production constraints. But one among the most important one is the insect species, which is the major roadblock for the proliferation of the cultivation of the ginger genotypes. So in the year 2004, the Devasayam with his co-worker Koya actually reported there are as many as 30 different species of the insects which are known to inflict the ginger crop, both in the field as well as the storage. So later in the year 2016, the Janarjan with his co-worker Ram reported that the ginger is the most severe pest, serious pest in fact. So on the extreme left of your the screen, what you can see is the rhizome fly, which is the adult, which is responsible for the perpetuation of the species in the environment. So the adult fly actually deposits the eggs in the rhizosphere near the rhizome. So immediately after the incubation, whatever the maggot that comes out, it actually starts feeding. It actually starts nibbling on the exterior of the rhizomes. So consequent to that one, there will be secondary infection. So once the maggot becomes sturdy, so it will start boring into the internal system, causing the severe tunnels.
So the second the picture that you can see is like pupa inside the rhizome. Though it's a quiescent stage, it is a resting stage, but it's the most important stage because it is the one which is capable of tiding over the very adverse environmental conditions. That's how it can cause serious damage in the subsequent year as well. So on the extreme right side, you can see the damaged field. So for our research, like the Humnabad local, so which is the local leading local type in the Bidar area, Dimagiri, Rio de Janeiro, and Suprabha, Himachal, Suruchi, Saravi, and Varada, Mahima, and Rechita were the different genotypes that were actually collected. And the experiment was laid out in the randomized block design with and it was replicated twice. So the plot size was 3 by 1 meter. The spacing recommended was 20 by 30 centimeter. So for these, all these parameters like the dead ginger plants, the shoot infestation, the rhizome infestation, the mean tunnel length and the breadth of the tunnel and the weight of the healthy rhizome and the weight of the infested rhizome, and finally at the harvest. So the yield was taken into account to assess the reaction. So these were the results, like, if you can just see the highlighted ones, the T1, which is the Rio de Janeiro. So it has actually registered the lowest, the percentage of the dead ginger plants and the lowest, the shoot infestation as well as the lowest rhizome infestation. So next to stand in the row, it was actually the Humnabad local. So though there is a numerical difference, but they are statistically indifferent, like, they are on par with each other. When you look at the different genotypes, it is the IISR Mahima, which is the one which has registered the highest dead ginger percentage and the highest amount of the shoot infestation as well as the rhizome infestation as well. Like, in the subsequent year, 2014, there was the trend remains the same. Like, whatever the parameters that that we have taken into account, the dead ginger plants and the shoot infestation, the rhizome infestation, the results were very consistent. So other parameters that we have taken into account is the length of the tunnel, the breadth of the tunnel, and the weight of the healthy rhizome and the weight of the infested rhizome, and finally the yield tally that we have done. So the length of the tunnel was also the length of the tunnel, breadth, as well as the weight of the healthy rhizome was highest. The length and the breadth of infestation was actually lowest in the Rio de Janeiro, and so it was next in the Humnabad local. But however, when you look at the weight of the healthy rhizome, so it was 146.20 and 145.0 in case of the Rio de Janeiro and the Humnabad local respectively. So the weight of the infested rhizome was also highest in case of the first T1, and it was the statistically indifferent, like, on par with the Rio de Janeiro was the Humnabad local. And the similar results are the trend could be seen even in the 2014 also. So again, this trend continued to remain the same. So with the previous experiment, whatever that result we got, like, Humnabad.
Please focus on management aspect. Please focus on management aspect.
Management. So based on the results, whatever that we got, like, Humnabad, which is a leading local variety, we conducted the experiment, like, so there were 7 different the treatments. So the fourth and the seventh one are actually the chemicals, and other 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6, they were actually the biorational or the eco-friendly methods. So each of them, they had the different, they had the multiple modes of action, and even the chemical configuration was also, there was a great deal of variation. So alongside, we also had get the untreated control. So the observations were done for the initial and final plants.
Come to the results part.
Okay.
Go to the conclusion, concluding part.
Okay, very conclude. So during the year 2015 and 2016, when we looked at the scenario, so the the plant stand was actually highest in the ivermectin benzoate, followed by the Karanja oil, and even the number of tillers per clump was also highest in case of the ivermectin benzoate, and the plant height and even the rhizome yield was highest in case of the ivermectin benzoate, and the next best was actually the Karanja oil, and the trend remained same even in the 2016 also. So this is pooled analysis. When we look at it, like, though the ivermectin benzoate 5 WSG drenching, so though it gives actually the excellent control, or like, it brings about the quick knockdown effect. So when we look at the CBC ratio, 4.33 in case of the ivermectin benzoate, whereas Karanja, it was 4.08. So if you want to the eco-friendly method, or like, the pesticide residue to be lesser in case of the final harvest, so the best one is actually the ivermectin benzoate. And if you want to fall back on the eco-friendly approaches, it is the Karanja.
At what concentration it is?
So the ivermectin benzoate 0.2 gram per liter of water, sir.
Per liter of water, yes. And then drenching to the soil.
5 ml. 5 ml per liter of water.
Concentration, ivermectin benzoate.
Concentration 0.2
gram per liter of water. and then drenching to the soil.
Yes, sir. Drenching.
Okay. Okay, now the topic is open for discussion. Please hand over the mic. Yeah, please.
Party 2016 and 2016. I could not understand whether the data presented has been published or not. This is one. And if it has not been published, now it is of no use. In 2025, data of 2013-14, what is its relevance? Because as per NAS requirement, it should not be more than older than 5 years. So what is it?
Actually, I didn't look at when exactly it was done, when exactly it is being presented. My main objective was to make sure the leading ginger genotype which was there in the Bidar area. So I just wanted to do the presentation of the same thing.
Whether this data has been published or not.
It has not been published yet.
And if it has not been published,
yes,
why this study was conducted?
Come again?
Then there is no need of conducting an study if you are not able to publish it. Say I am using their sources, I am generating a data, and for the last 10 years, I am not publishing, I am keeping in my pocket. What is its use? That is my query.
Say I'm not really bothered about what the NAS, what the publication is all about. I am just worried about they giving the practice to
this data is available only with you for 10 years. So, Chairman, sir, please, this is my submission.
I'm not doing it from the perspective of publication only.
So later you please discuss. Right now, of course, your slides are very good and visibility is very clear. But what that Dr. Saab told, the data,
old it is.
It is almost 1 decade old. 1 decade.
But I have not I've not done the research from the perspective of publication.
True. True.
So it was actually required for our package.
So recent studies required for this session, since it's almost 10 years old data.
I have not published, sir. I have not published it.
Okay. He has not yet published. Okay. Okay. So you can fine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who is the next presenter? Anita KV on effect of different levels of NPK fertilizers. Anita KV. She is here. Or she is like online. Anita.
Is Anita is here online? Anita.
Okay, we shall move to the next one. That's Raghunath. Raghunath on seasonal incidence and population dynamics of fruit fly. Okay, next, please.
Prithvin Gowda, Mahesh YS.
Prithvin Gowda.
Sir, Mahesh YS.
Prithvin Gowda and Mahesh YS.
Is Sangeeta Priya?
Yes,
is here?
Next.
Yes,
Sangeeta?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please. Online. Okay. Please present your data.
Madam, share your slides.
Sir, is it visible, sir?
Please go ahead.
Yes, madam, please.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I am Dr. Sangeeta Priya. I am here to present my abstract titled Soilless Cultivation of Gerbera with Optimized Growth Substrate and Nutrient Solution, which is a part of my PhD research work conducted at ICAR Bangalore. So Gerbera is an important cut flower crop which is generally cultivated under polyhouse on conventional soil beds. However, there are so many problems that are associated with soil cultivation, such as the soil salinity, soil compaction over the period of time, poor aeration, leaching, nutrient immobilization, and soil-borne pest pathogens and nematode problems, which reduce the yield potential and flower quality of the gerbera. So the best way to overcome these challenges are to go for soilless cultivation. So whenever you are going for a soilless cultivation, two important things should be considered. One is the growth substrate and another one is the nutrient management. So when we are selecting the growth substrate, it should be chemically inert, absence of pathogens and pests, and it should have adequate mechanical properties and low bulk density. Then coming to the nutrient part, the nutrient formulation should have a balanced supply of nutrients and it should be supplied via water soluble fertilizers, and it should be supplied according to the growth stage. Usually the vegetative stage requires low amount of nutrients compared to that of the flowering stage. And then coming to the micronutrients are better to be applied via foliar spray. So this experiment is conducted with the following objectives: to standardize the suitable soilless substrate and nutrient formulation and dose for the soilless cultivation of gerbera, and to identify the best growth substrate and nutrient solution with respect to the economics. So this is the material and methods. The variety used for this experiment is Arca Nasera, and the soilless system employed in this experiment is aggregate width system using HDPE grow bags. The experimental design is factorial CRD with 3 replication. It has 3 factors. The first one is growth substrate, which has 4 levels, and the second one is nutrient formulation with 2 levels. The one is the recommended by CPCT for conventional cultivation, that is soil cultivation of gerbera, whereas the second one is the modified form of CPT formulation, that is designed for soilless cultivation of gerbera. And the third factor is TDS. It contains 2 TDS levels. One is 600 ppm at vegetative stage and 1,000 ppm at flowering stage. And the second one is 900 ppm at vegetative stage and 1500 ppm at flowering stage. So this is the aggregate bit system that is deployed for the experiment. Here we had the nutrient tanks and which are connected to the PVC pipes. The PVC pipes supply the nutrient solution using the nylon wick. So coming to the results, I can split the result into 7 parts. There are 3 simple effects, 3 two-way interaction effects, and 1 three-way interaction effect. Coming to the effect of growth substrate, we can see that the substrate S3 performed better in case of vegetative growth, early flowering, yield, and also the flower quality. This might be because of the better mechanical properties, mechanical support rendered by the substrate, and also the better drainage, water holding capacity, and aeration that are rendered by the substrate. Whereas in S2, we can see that the performance is poor. That may be because of the excessive water retention in case of cocoa peat and rice husk. Then coming to the effect of nutrient formulations, we can see that the N2, that is a modified form of CPCT formulation, has performed better with respect to vegetative growth, flowering, and yield. This might be because of the presence of high amount of N, P, K, and calcium and lower amount of magnesium and sulfur in the formulation. Then coming to the effect of nutrient doses, we can find that the lower dose T1 has performed better. This might be because of the lesser osmotic stress and lesser nutrient toxicity in case of T1, whereas in case of T2, salt accumulation might have happened, which have impaired the plant's ability to absorb the nutrients. So coming to the interaction effect of nutrient formulation and nutrient dose, we can find that the modified formulation supplied at lower dose performed better with respect to number of leaves, earlier flowering, yield, and neck diameter. So this might be because of the mechanical and physical properties rendered by the substrate due to the lesser TDS in case of N2 T1. Then coming to the interaction effect of growth substrate and nutrient formulation, almost all the parameters were found non-significant. However, the yield and flower quality are best in case of growth substrate and nutrient formulation S3 and 2. This might be because of the balanced supply of nutrients and also the better physical properties of the substrate. Then coming to the interaction effect of growth substrate and nutrient doses, it is also almost non-significant for all the parameters. However, the number of leaves and base life are more in case of S3T1. This might be due to the compatibility of the nutrient formulation at lower dose and also the substrate properties. This is the three-way interaction effect of growth substrate, nutrient formulation, and nutrient dose. We can find that the leaf area is higher in case of S3 N2 T1 with earlier flowering, and higher yield, that is 34.17 flowers per plant per year, with a thicker neck and higher biomass and longer waste life. This might be because of the better drainage, aeration, and mechanical support given by the substrate, and also the balanced supply of nutrients in case of the nutrient formulation. So this is
Sangeeta, hello, Sangeeta, time is over. Conclude your experiment.
yes, sir. Yes. In case of partial budget analysis also, it was found that the S3 and 2T1 performed better with respect to both the gross returns and also the lesser treatment costs. So it can be concluded that the substrate comprising Arca fermented cocoa peat, rices and FIM in the ratio 1:1:1 along with the supply of modified nutrient formulation at the lower TDS have performed better with respect to vegetative growth, earlier flowering, flower quality, and in case of economics also. So thus it can be recommended for the farmers for soilless cultivation of gerbera. The future prospects or studies need to be conducted on nutrient solution in relation to the physical and chemical properties of the growth substrate, and locally available substrates have to be identified, and the identified soilless production system, that is the growth substrate and nutrient formulation, can be used in vertical farming systems to increase the productivity per unit area. Thank you, sir.
Okay, nice presentation. Thank you. Now the topic is open for discussion. If there are any queries, any doubts, presume that no questions. Okay, next presenter, Madhusudan, KT. Madhusudan, okay. Investigation on novel strains of Bavaria bassiana. Sporoptera litera.
Myself, Madhusudan, from the Department of Entomology, from College of Horticulture, Bagalkot. Today I am here to present a oral presentation on investigation novel strain of Bavaria bassiana UHS-1 against Sporoptera litera in cabbage. As you know that cabbage is one of the important vegetable crop which is affected by various number of insect pests. Among them, Sporoptera litera, it is a severe in the North Karnataka region. It causes around 26 to 100% yield loss. For the management of this pest, farmers are indiscriminately using the chemical pesticides. It not only causes the environmental pollution and also causes the development of insecticide resistance and also pest resurgence. Recently, this happened in Rajasthan. Here, 14-year-old girl dies after eating the pesticide sprayed cabbage. To overcome this ill effect of chemical pesticide, I have conducted an experiment with the main objective is to collection, isolation, identification, and evaluation of native entomopathogenic fungus for the management of Sporoptera litera in cabbage. For this experiment, I have conducted a survey in seven districts of Karnataka, including Bagalkote, Belgavi, Bijapur, Haveri, Dharwad, and Chikbalapur, and Bangalore rural areas. During our survey, I have collected the insect sample which are covered with entomopathogenic fungal mycelia, and also I have collected the soil samples. After collection, I have isolated, these are all the cadavers which are collected from different geographical locations of Karnataka. I have collected all the insect sample and soil sample. After collection, I have isolated I have isolated all the 17 isolates in the laboratory condition. These are all the isolates which are isolated in from plant and insect sample. After isolation, I have conducted a bioassay study to know the effectiveness of all the 17 isolates. During the bioassay study, I have among the 17 isolates, it is confirmed that Chikbalapur isolate, Bagalkote isolate, and Bangalore isolated. 3 isolates recorded the maximum % mortality of Sporoptera litera during the laboratory study. Further, to confirm the species level identification, I have conducted a molecular and morphological identification of the top performing best 3 isolates. After confirmation, it was confirmed that Bagalkote isolate is confirmed as Bavaria bassiana and it is named it as UHS-1, and Chikbalapur isolate it is identified as a Cladosporium cladosporead. It is identified as UHS-2, and Bangalore isolate identified as a Cladosporium tenacimum. It is named as UHS-3. After collection, isolation, and identification, we have conducted a field evaluation. Here we conducted a field evaluation in 2 seasons, Rabi season and also in Kharif seasons. These are all the treatment details for conducting the field trials in 2 seasons. Here we selected the top 5 best performing isolator from bioassay studies along with NSKE and meterism relay. That is entomopathogenic nematode, entomopathogenic fungus isolate, that is a commercial formulation of Dharwad University, and one is standard check, Sanitary last one is control. This is the experimental layout, experimental view of the Kharif season data. This figure shows the bioefficacy of all the treatment. Among the different treatments, Sanitary that is standard check, recorded the lowest number of larvae per plant compared to other treatment. With respect to entomopathogenic fungus, Beauveria bassiana, that is UHS-BEPA1, recorded the lowest number of larvae per plant compared to other entomopathogenic fungus. This is the plot treated with UHS-BEPA1 and untreated control. Next, coming to the experimental view of the Rabi season. Here also, similar trend were observed. Here also, Sanitary standard check recorded the lowest number of larvae per plant in all the three sprays, which is followed by Beauveria bassiana UHS-BEPA1. That is a superior in compared to all other entomopathogenic fungus. Commercial formulation T7 from US Dharwad that showed the least effective, recorded the highest number of larvae per plant. Next, this is the clear-cut difference we can observe. The plot treated with the Beauveria bassiana, there is no symptom of Spodoptera damage, and untreated control, we can observe the damage of Spodoptera litera. Further, finally, coming to the yield and BC ratio, here also Sanitary standard check and also UHS-BEPA1, 2, 3, all the 4 treatment record the highest yield, which are statistically on par with each other. But with respect to BC ratio, UHS-BEPA1, that record the 2.75 BC ratio, emerges as one of the best treatment among the compared with all the treatments. With this, I conclude that Beauveria bassiana UHS-BEPA1 recorded the highest percent mortality of Spodoptera litera in laboratory condition, pot condition, as well as in field condition also, and also recorded the highest BC ratio compared to other treatments. With this, Beauveria bassiana emerges as one of the effective biocontrol tool for the management of Spodoptera litera in the under field condition. It can be incorporated in integrated pest management strategy for the effective management of Spodoptera litera, and also helps in the production of pesticide-free cabbages. As I am an incubator of this UHS Bagalkot, and I started one startup called Jaivicare, and I am producing this Beauveria bassiana UHS-BEPA1 commercially and giving a demo to the farmers to get a multi-location trial data. Thank you, sir.
Okay, nice presentation. I have seen among so many presentations I have seen so far. Very good slides, and topic selection is also excellent.
Thank you, sir.
And the photographs are also very, very clear. And there was a clarity in your presentation. So very good presentation. So the topic is now open for discussion. If you have any questions, please ask the questions. Yes, if there are no more questions, coming to the next presenter, Shravani.
Thank you, sir.
Shravani MP. Yes, you can upload your.
Good afternoon.
You can start.
Good afternoon to one and all. I'm Shavani from Department of Plant Pathology, here to present part of my ongoing research work. That the title is Endophytes of Tridax procumens, a novel solution for managing fruit rot and soil-borne wilt pathogens infecting chili. And with respect to the chili, its botanical name Capsicum annuum. The major producing states in the country are like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, followed by Maharashtra, Karnataka, and West Bengal. Chili production is challenged by major diseases like fruit rot and wilt, which accounts for a yield loss of 12 to 15%. To manage this disease, we have chosen endophytes. So these endophytes are microorganisms that colonize the plant without causing any apparent symptoms. They are going to perform some different activities within the plant like mycoparasitism, competition, induced systemic resistance, antibiotics. So why we have chosen this Tridax as a source of novel antibiotics producing endophytes is because of its antimicrobial activity, like antifungal and antibacterial activity. With respect to antifungal activity, we have set these following objectives, like first is to isolate the fungal endophytes associated with Tridax procumens and pathogens causing fruit rot and wilt in chili. Second, to evaluate the antagonistic potential of endophytic isolates against these pathogens. And last, to characterize the potential endophytes associated with Chidax. These are the material and methods. Isolation of endophytic fungi. This is the standard protocol where we have followed to isolate the endophytic fungals. And to evaluate the antagonistic potential, we have used a dual culture technique where on one side we place the pathogen and on the other side we place an endophytic fungi. And finally, morphological and molecular characterization was done. First objective, the endophytes of endophytes isolated from Chidax procumens are, we have isolated 12 fungal endophytes from different plant parts like leaf, flower bud, flower, stem, and roots. And we have named like Tdax 1 to 12. And the pathogens associated with the major chili diseases are fruit rot, the Coletotrichum capsicum. These are the respective fruiting bodies, and the fungus. And with respect to the wilt, Fusarium solani and Sclerotium rolfsi, these are the pathogens we have isolated, and these are the microscopic images and the pathogen. With respect to the second objective, evaluation of endophytes against chili anthracnose pathogen, that is Coletotrichum capsicum. This is the pictograph showing the antagonistic potential of fungal endophytes. These are the positive controls like 1 to 12. These are positive controls are fungal endophytes, and negative control is against the Coletotrichum capsicum. And the picture showing the antagonistic potential of endophytic fungus over the Coletotrichum capsicum. And this is the picture showing the antagonistic activity against the Fusarium solani. And this is showing antagonistic potential against Sclerotium rolfsi. And this is the table representing inhibition efficiency of various isolates against Coletotrichum capsicum, Fusarium solani, and Sclerotium rolfsi. And from inhibition percentage was calculated using the formula treatment minus control divided by control into 100. From this table, we came to conclusion that isolate Tdax 1, 2, 6, 9, and 10 were found effective. And this is the heat map showing the inhibition percentage. The highest inhibition was recorded in Tdax 9, followed by Tdax 2, then Tdax 1, 6, and then 10. And finally, the molecular characterization was done by selecting the potential endophytes.
Come to the conclusion.
Yes. Sir, this is the phylogenetic tree showing Tdax 1. This is the potential endophyte, has shown the sequence similarity with Archenium species. And Tdax 2 with Nigrospora, Tdax 2 and Tdax 6 has shown sequence similarity with the Nigrospora oryzae. And Tdax 9 with Alternaria tenacima, Tdax 10 with Fusarium proliferatum. So the potential fungal endophytes like Archenium species, Nigrospora oryzae, Alternaria tenacima, Alternaria proliferatum, isolated from Tridax, have shown good results to manage these fungal pathogens for sustainable management and production of chili production. And today, in India, we have reached efficient producing. We have changed the status of our country has changed from efficient producer to sufficient producing nation with the aid of different schemes which we have already, which are being detailed in the morning session by Alur sir, like Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, NAMSA, NAPOF, and different schemes. And the theme of our conference is also drawing attention to the key concept of achieving sustainable development goal, that is 13 and 3, that is climate action and good health and prosperity and nutritional security. So despite of all these efforts, I would say that the extent of adopting technology is more when compared to the efforts made to mitigate from its adversaries. So finally, I would conclude, we the researchers have to focus on finding the sustainable solutions for managing the diseases for climate resilient agriculture. Thank you. I would like to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to present my work.
Okay, nice presentation. Slides were also excellent. So now the topic is open for discussion. Okay, nice. Next speaker, Akshata Koppad. Effect of nano urea on leaf area.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Akshata Kapat. I'm here to present. Good afternoon, sir. I'm Akshata. I'm here to present on effect of nanourea on leaf area index, leaf area ratio, specific leaf weight, and total dry matter content of scented geranium. This scented geranium is botanically called as Pelargonium graveolens, is a member of Geraniaceae family, originated from South Africa, and the above ground portion of this plant is used to extract the essential oil, and this essential oil mainly contains geraniol and citronellol. Due to the presence of this geraniol content, it emits a strong rose-like odor. And this essential oil is used in pharmaceuticals, perfumery, aromatherapy, cosmetics, soap, food and beverages. Apart from this, this essential oil is also used to treat cancer, diabetes, liver problems, gastric ulcers, male sterility, and kidney stones, and to stop the bleeding. And this geranium is perennial in nature, and this can be planted throughout the year, and the best season of planting is Rabi season, that to October to February. And due to the perennial nature of this plant, or monocropping for the several years leads to the deficiency of the required nitrogen nutrient for the vegetative growth. Hence, it is required to provide the nitrogen nutrient in an effective manner where it reaches the maximum efficiency. That can be achieved by the foliar spray of the nanourea, where it provides a maximum surface area for the absorption.
Methodology go, ma. Methodology go.
This table shows the effect of different doses of nanourea on leaf area index, and leaf area ratio. Here we can notice that the increasing in the dosage of the nanourea increases the leaf area. By this, it indicates that the nitrogen content leads to the increasing in the vegetative growth. And we can also notice that increasing the leaf area increase the leaf area index, where it contributes for the growth of the meristematic tissues. And coming to the leaf area ratio, here during the main crop we can notice non-significance, but in the ratoon crop it shows the maximum leaf area ratio in T7 treatment. By this, it indicates that maximum leaf area ratio is more advantageous, where it contributes to the leafiness of the crop. And table 2 represents the effect of nanourea on specific leaf weight and total dry matter content. Here we can notice that the T7 treatment shows the maximum specific leaf weight and total dry matter content, and this indicates the accumulation of the dry matter and the biomass is more in T7
Akshata,
treatment.
which treatment is best among the?
T7 treatment, sir.
Huh?
T7 treatment.
That's all. T7. Application of 50 kg N coated urea with the foliar application of 0.5 ml of nanourea is the best among all the treatments. This is the one single sentence I wanted. Continue.
By this, I would like to conclude by saying the treatment T7, that to application of basal dose of 15 kg of nitrogen through neem coated urea, and full dose of phosphorus and potassium through 10 tons of FOM, and top dressing with 0.5 ml per liter of nanourea, that to 45 days of interval foliar spraying leads to the maximum yield. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Nice presentation. Nice topic. Any questions? Okay, next speaker.
Okay, we are concluding the marathon session. Finally, I sincerely thanks to the organizer, Dr. Balaji Kulkarni, Dean, COH Bagalkot, and organizing members for giving an opportunity to chair the session. Similarly, also thanks to the co-chairman, Dr. Gopali, Professor and Head, Department of Entomology, COH Bagalkot, and also rapporteurs, Dr. Dilip Kumar Masuti, Assistant Professor, KSH Arbavi, Dr. Mallikarjun Auti, Associate Professor of COH Bagalkot, and Moderator, Pallavi HM, Associate Professor of Seed Science and Technology, and Dr. I.V. Biradar. Thank you. I am handed over to co-chairman.
So coming to the end of the session, there was totally 20 speakers, out of which 5 are absent, and almost all presenters did a very good effort in presenting their data. I congratulate them all. And I also congratulate the chairman who has taken a lot of patience in evaluating all the presentations. So I wholeheartedly thankful to all the audience also who has all, here almost all the presentations with patiently. And I also thank to all the audience. And also I thank my rapporteurs. I hope they have recorded all the proceedings, all the points, and I also extend my thanks to them. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of organizing committee, we would like to honor chairman and co-chairman of the session, Chairman Dr. Tammaya, sir, Dean College of Horticulture, Munirabad. So I request to accept our honor. And also in the same dais, co-chairman Dr. J.B. Gopali, sir, professor and head Department of Entomology, College of Horticulture, Bagalkot. I request Dr. Satyanarayana, sir, to honor both chairman and co-chairman. Okay. I also request Dr. Tammaya, sir, to issue certificate to reporters, Dr. Mallikarjun Auti, sir, as well as Dilip Kumar Masuti, sir.
Manju.